And we are live, and we are back to D&D. Hello, everyone. It's me, Siska, pronouns are she, her. Once again, I welcome you to today's session of Roll to Suffer the Blue Lamp. Currently on session 26. Can you believe it?
Damn. We're so cool.
We had a nice session number last time with 25, but you know what? We can look forward to the next cool number, which is 27, which is one of my favorite numbers because it's 3 cubed. Anyway, besides all that, of course, I am not alone here. I'm joined by all my players today's session, which makes me extremely happy. And since you weren't here last time, Maxi, I'm just going to start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and Omni?
Hi there. The name is Maxine. My pronouns are they, them, and today I will be piloting Omni, child of the moon, former leader of the armies of heaven, and currently just being a little guy GN. Omni's pronouns are any and all, by the way. And currently I'm finding myself in Katobo Pass, which definitely means nothing else. It's just it's a pass, just like anyone else. But honestly, I'm happy to be back here. I missed last session, and I'm excited for some Donguns and Daiguns shenanigans.
Fantastic, Maxi. With our new challenge, or rather prompt, process for at the start of each session.
Generator.
For those only just catching up, we used to roll a d6 at the start of every session to determine the short-term goal for each PC at the start of the session. We've changed it to tarot cards, so I'm just going to start shuffling, and Maxi, you can just say stop whenever.
Oh, come on. Oh, let's go. Secret, illustration rare, Umbreon, let's go now.
So
That's not
Temperance.
very German of you. You have not said stop.
I thought I said stop.
they said stop, and they stopped at Temperance. Card 24. Right.
No, not card 24. Wow.
It is also
Not
upright, which means it
temperance.
symbolizes inner balance, harmony, moderation, integration, acceptance, and merged elements.
It's
Omni,
all about balance.
Omni, in today's episode, you strive to be more at peace with yourself.
Hell yeah. Can you
Gonna put
believe
that
our
card
mutual friend
aside.
Kendra is a fucking Libra, by the way? Can you imagine that person balanced?
Listen, I'm
Maxi,
a
we're only
Libra.
like 5 minutes in. We can't start bashing Kendra yet.
Oh my god, I'm a Libra too.
Yeah.
You're all
okay, yeah.
Libras.
Makes sense. Wait, hold up.
September
You're a
slash
Libra
October
too?
can rise up.
Yes, I am.
Oh
Well,
no, we're surrounded.
anyway,
Siska, we're surrounded.
carrying right along, Pisces surrounded. I see how it is. Algernon, tell us a little bit about yourself and Shamara, please.
But hi, I'm Algernon, they, them. I'm a Leo, by the way, and my birth card is
Checks out.
yeah, thank you. And my birth card is actually Temperance. Another fun fact. And I'm playing Xiomara, also they, them, who is learning a lot about friendship and how to interact with other people at this time in their life and what it means to be a better person than they were before. But they will still murder someone, but that's besides the point.
You know, justified. You can quote me on that, I guess. Samara, why don't you say stop whenever you want to?
Damn.
Stop.
Death.
Oh, God. Oh no, that's actually another fun fact.
Contrary
about
to popular belief, death is really more about growth
Yeah.
in the cycle of life than death itself.
Also,
Oh,
my
thank you, Maxi.
last,
Let me just say it because you also drew it upright. It says here,
Very good.
transformation, goodbyes, finality, finalization, loss, transition, and finality. Samara, today
Finality.
you realize something about yourself one way or another. That wasn't one way before, but it's a different way now. You're transforming today, putting away death, and carrying right on along to Ante. Please talk about yourself and SETI.
Hello, it's me, Antir, he, him, playing SETI, he, him. I don't know about SETI, but I am a cancer in real life. And SETI is just a cancer on society because he keeps dying, coming back. There was a joke there and I lost it.
I think that was good. I think that was good.
That's about it that I have to say. I will let the cards decide what I will do today.
Yeah, say stop whenever.
I still say stop whenever.
Yeah. The moon in reverse.
Uh-oh. Not sure if that's good or
Reverse usually means something funky.
bad.
The moon is all
Wow.
about that mystique. It's all about the mystic stuff happening behind the scenes.
Oh no.
But in
The moon in
reverse.
reverse.
So
Anti
I'm
means
sorry. I'll stop being the tarot nerd. I'm sorry.
please don't
Nerd.
stop.
it's fine. We're all. If we didn't want to be nerds, we wouldn't be playing D&D, I suppose. Illusions. Calming down. Trying to forget stuff. I'm live translating this booklet from German into English. You'll have to stick with me.
The SETI forgetting stuff. That's not difficult.
Denial and the dark sides. So today's episode, you struggle with something you've denied thus far.
All right.
All clear?
Got it noted. All clear is a big word. It's gotta be a puzzle to figure out.
I think we'll see. Very good, Anto. Thank you. Putting away the moon. And Florian, why don't you
Hello.
tell us a little bit about yourself and Tyr?
Hello, my name's Florian. He, him. I player. I, I,
I player, but
I-
anybody else saying a player? Bing?
I played Tyr. He, him. Also, I mean, at this point, he's just a man on a mission from God. God being some dude who is totally cool with me doing whatever. Still finding out what I want to do with my life now that I quit the police force. Sort of getting concerned about my legacy at the police force, considering what happened when we landed here and I sort of abandoned my partner. Anyways, last session, I think I went through a nightmare to step through a gate in the blighted woods. Yeah, I.
That you did.
I-
Very good.
Oh yeah,
Florian.
right. I'm also a Libra. Always, rocking those scales. You know what I mean?
See, that's why Florian and
Florian
P are
has
so in
the innate
sync.
ability to know exactly how much a watermelon weighs at the produce shop.
Only if a comparable weight is put on the other side, and I need to know the weight of that object. Otherwise, I can just compare them to each other.
All right, Florian.
Florian
say
holding
stop.
the little weight. This is not exactly 100 grams. What the hell?
All right,
I was about to say this
Florian.
watermelon is surprisingly close to 3 shoes and a pomegranate.
If you draw judgment today, or if you draw what's it? Yeah, if you draw judgment today, it's gonna be funny. Anyway, why did you say stop whenever you want?
Stop.
That was fast.
10 of staffs.
Excuse? Sorry, can you say that again?
10 of staffs or staves.
Surveys.
Ah, thank you.
It's 10 sticks on this card here, Florian.
Taking notes.
So, 10 der Sterbe. Dedication, stress, overload, and suppression. So in today's session, you are just dealing with the complete and utter overload you've been experiencing lately,
Fuck.
one way or another.
It's that session, eh?
Another session, eh? Thank you, Florian. And last but not least, I hope she hears me this time and that the mic doesn't call me out when I say cool stuff. And Stacy.
Yes, here I am. Kulsta, she, her, playing as Stacy, also she, her. Also, maybe we can experience some changes since she is experiencing draconic puberty because, the dragon of the Winter Circle decided to give her a little present, and now she's a dragon. And sometimes there are a little bit of hiccups. They are quite funny. So Stacy is about to kind of find her balance again, and also appreciates her new place in society. So yeah, she's like a little icy or cold guardian of nature's balance.
Absolutely
I would like
fantastic.
to clarify for our audio listeners. Kulsta meant to say dragon puberty, not dragon poverty. I don't believe dragons face a specific kind of destitution that's unique to them.
Oh,
So
definitely
just wanted to
they do.
clarify that.
Maybe we could get into that today if we get to do a little bit of world building, but we'll see about that.
I really
Dragon
want to see the dragon
economics.
poverty.
Dragonomics, that's right.
Hey, thank you, Maxi, and thank you, Coolstar. Why don't you say stop whenever you want to?
Man, as a scales, I really don't like decisions, but well, here you go. Stop.
Did you say scaly? I heard that right.
3 of Cups. Let me just get the booklet. I opened right on the right page, isn't that good? Celebration, community, camaraderie, team spirit, friendship, and synergy. Stacy, in this session, you seek to reconnect with an old friend.
I thought she was dead.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So, party. We return now to the Blue Forest on the party's ongoing mission to investigate the curse that takes place here and establish a presence for the local monarchy, which is interesting, and finding that gosh damn blue lamp. Roll credits.
Nah, that'll never happen.
So far, the quest has gone. Well, it's unclear how it's been going, but after returning to Wargo and fending off Decimal, an emissary from the Dread Lord of Chains, he warned the party that he'd be back in 6 weeks to burn the entire town down. In the meantime, the party recommenced their investigations in the Blue Forest, but this time they would know that their travel would be a little bit longer as the forest grows more dangerous with the presence of both the chaotic Black Circus and the dreadfully lawful Order of the Crooked Man. Stacy went with her old master Ashling, Archdruid of the Autumn Dragon Circle, to complete a ritual that can save the town and maybe break the forest curse. She also found that the circle is, as perhaps all druid circles are in these trying times, struggling, and helped to alleviate some of it. Now she's going with her master down into the sanctum of the circle to deal with a very interesting kind of problem. I say interesting a lot when I can't think of anything, it seems. Tyr and Shamara decide to take their new friend Custian, formerly known as the Cuckoo, to the Blighted Wood to investigate the place where the curse over this forest is probably the thickest or the strongest. Naturally, it's also the place where the strange circus member Blightwood lives, and the place that he also named himself after. What they found was a landscape of horrific nightmares and doubts that they quickly managed to overcome, so that they finally reached the center of the Blighted Wood. Find out what is going wrong there. Finally, Seti went on with his bosom companion, with his good friend Lefavre.
With his what?
With his roommate.
Chest buddy. Gender neutral.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
It's like a thing in German where it's like I realize bosom companion has more romantic implications in English. In German, it just means good friend.
Yeah.
With his sister in arms, Lefavre, he went down to Muspel Island to sabotage the Crooked Man as much as they can. What they found so far is not only that they have prisoners and information and various treasures from the region, but also that the frightening leader of the Inquisition of the Order is here, a silver dragonborn by the name of Justicia. Well, that being said, we actually pick up 1 week prior in Wargo, in the Roadhouse, where in a bed made for a single person, a small Asimar is sleeping, taking up less than half of it. Omni, can I please get you to give me a charisma saving throw? You give me
You
the
got it,
saving throw
boss.
to determine what place you're going.
Let's go. Hell. Okay, let me roll.
Or rather, if you succeed the saving throw, you can decide where you're going. The 22 just
22,
about
boss.
makes you.
How's that?
Omni, you feel being pulled in 4 directions actually. 1 back to Elysium to reconvene with your sister Nemnos. 1 going to the Pit of Bator to reconvene with your twin brother Deimos, the Archduke of Nightmares. 1 going to Acheron to reconvene with your uncle about that whole sword business. And 1 going so far in another direction that you can't even see where it's going. You haven't even seen the strand before, but you can see the strands more clearly now.
May I please have a quick reminder as to what was the item that we got from the temple that my twin sibling wanted?
So Deimos sent you to Black River Town to pick up Selen's Cipher, which is a small disc made of blue amber, which has some magical properties and is a holy relic of your mother Selen. I think
right,
I
thank
also
you.
sent you the article over World Anvil, but if I haven't, let me just check.
I kept picturing in my mind more mirror-like, but you're right, thank you. Honestly, like having gotten that, I kind of want to know what Effie / Deimos's game is in all this. I think I'm much against what some might call their better judgment. I ought to see my little sibling down in hell.
And to how you descend. It gets a little hot for a while, then it gets extremely cold until you finally end up in Nessus, Infernal City, seat of the Queen of Hell Asmodeus and her closer following, including, of course, the Prince of Nightmares. Hang on, let me pick him up from school. Where is he?
He's outside waiting with the oversized backpack.
I've become
You
evil
find
because
yourself
they
in
keep
in a wide room. The walls made out of volcanic stone, polished to a shine. Arches and columns line the walls, decorated with statues of different infernal beings. And meditating in front of a pool, you find your brother. Oh, hang on. Do I have that portrait actually? You find your brother seated in front of the pool.
The maskless? Yes.
Yes. Hang on.
Oh, I'm hanging.
You can already tell me like what you want to do, like how you want to start this interaction, because he doesn't turn around to face you, but though it does seem he registered you. But the fact that his glaive, or rather a little orb right now that you know to be named Premonition, is floating around you already. You can see that kind of interaction between a Premonition and Eclipse as the two kind of start orbiting each other. Hang on.
They're just
Disco
playing.
lights floating in the sky.
I already know what I want to do. But I would, if I would like for you to get the handout for sure. I'm locked in. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. You're gonna hate it. It's gonna be great.
Whoa.
Oh no, they're hot.
That's my little bro. We're twins. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, you're also hot.
Your twin brother, who's also taller than you.
No. Has that been established?
Taller?
Yes, that's why he calls you little sibling.
It's the heels. Okay, it's not. If we both take off our shoes, same height.
I think the horns give him an advantage now, though.
The horns also, it's not helping.
He doesn't seem to be.
Nonetheless, seeing them as they are meditating before this pool of some liquid, I must assume some sort of water. I come on. I walk around, positioning myself so that the pool of water is between me and Amos, and I reach my palm in the water and I splash them.
Oh, is this how you want to start this? He stomps one of his feet in the water, and the water splashes everywhere and drenches you completely. All right, then let's see. Let's have at you. He starts wrestling with you.
Ah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I would
Give me an
like
athletics
to.
check, please.
Yeah. I would like to roll to get my sibling in a headlock.
Yeah, I'm going to roll athletics for him as well. Let's see what he gets.
Damn, he's athletic too.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Dirty 20.
You have the upper hand.
14 strength plus 14.
He's a level 20 character. What can I say, baby?
Hot damn. I really have been out of the game for way too long.
You have the upper moment for just a moment, but then his mechanical arms give him the advantage, and he pulls it to the ground. Have at you, demon spawn! For a second, you see a little bit of bloodlust in his eyes. Very well. Hello, Omni. I suppose you didn't come here just to splash me. You can see Premonition
no.
floats to his side and stares at you.
While in the clearly, I'm while being grappled, I reach into the inner pocket of my cloak, let's say, and I retrieve the cipher. And I say with a playful look on my face, I got the thing you were looking for. So what's the deal with this?
Of you and stands up and prestidigitates that both of you get dry. Well, you got exactly the thing I wanted you to get. You got our mother's cipher. Well, you're going to use that thing to save the damn forest, aren't you?
Maybe. Maybe not. You never told me what was in it for you.
What was in it for me? Do you know what I am, sibling?
Well, other than my younger twin, the Prince of Nightmares, and probably out of the two of us, the worst demon in this room.
As you say demon, he snarls. Dude, take that word into your mouth while you're in Asmodeus' palace. I'm a devil. Thank you very much. And we devils, we appreciate law. And you know what this forest lacks? Well, for one, a firm hand to guide it.
Is there disorder in this forest, you say?
He looks at you stupidly. Why, I may just think so.
I don't know. The trees are still growing. The grass is still reaching for the sun, though it will never reach it. The flowers bloom. The birds cry. And so do the hungry children. Everything seems to be clicking and ticking and talking as it likes to do, according to nature.
Scowls at you as dark clouds seem to form around his head. An ability you've seen him use before, though it didn't used to be quite this pronounced. He walks over to a desk kind of thing and pours a pitcher of glass into a pitcher of water into 2 tumblers.
No,
Well,
just glass.
He pours a glass of glass into a glass. Anyway, he offers you a little drink and then leans against the desk and says, "Perhaps so. Perhaps we should leave it all just to nature, but there are souls in this forest. Souls who, without the firm hand of order, are lost. You might know that the Black Circus, well, their souls are forfeit. We cannot use them. It's bad for business, if anything. Besides, it makes you look good, and you looking good is in my best interest as of now."
I take the drink, knowing that I'm in dream. I feel a little comfortable, Engaging in the dream shenanigans, I take a sip of the drink. What does it taste like?
Give me a D10.
All right, not too bad. I have every intent to look good. My friends
You
and
need to
I,
roll me
we
a
are.
D10. You need to roll me a D10.
Oh, I misheard you saying like a 7 out of 10, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's not too bad.
Well, I'll see if it's a 7 out of 10.
How's a 6 sound, boss?
The water's a bit stale. He needs to get some new stuff.
Brother, when was the last time you went down to the market? This water is a bit stale. Nonetheless, my friends and I am in the business of trying to look good. My friends and I have a bit of a mission here, and well, I can't help but feel like I want to just make sure they succeed.
What about you?
I'm looking at the big picture. I'm looking at the. I'm thinking of the long game. You know, you and I, we've been living for a long time. You know, and although you seem to be awfully concerned about the souls of the dead, however few souls are lost in this forest, um, we look at things from a different lens. As anachronistic as that line may be, we look at things through a different lens. You know, there's been the Black Circus. There's been factions like these. I bet there's been countless of them while I was asleep. Though then again, you've always been diligent at taking care of every single thing.
Some might say anxious. He has a bit of a haunted look as he goes on. This is no organization like any other Omni. Even you must see this. Not just that they're undead and undying, not just that they are completely out of touch with their own humanity. You must see that there's something deeply
There's an absolute lack
corrupt.
of order in their ranks. No, I understand why they particularly anger you. So yeah, no, they are an absolute disaster. Almost like, well, truly mad men, truly.
Indeed.
And it just so happens they're standing in my way, as I know they're standing in your way. So, for the time being, it appears that the stars have aligned. Little brother, we are working together.
Indeed, little kin. Hmm. Very good. I expect that you will let me know one way or another once you've acquired the lamp. This, too, is of certain importance to me, more importantly to the Queen.
Could I surmise when they say that when he says the queen, are they talking about mother?
Um, you get the idea he's talking about the Queen of Hell, Asmodeus.
Yeah, I had a wishful think. Call it wishful thinking. Call it wishful thinking.
Also, little lore tangent here. When the gods or celestials talk about the Queen, they usually mean Lantana, who's like the leader of the gods. Whereas Salem would be referred to as a princess, being that she's the sister.
Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate that. Be it as it may, whether I tell you or not, we'll see. We'll see. I like to keep my cards close to my chest. Is there anything I should know, little twin?
Anything you should know?
You've
Well,
got
I
eyes
suppose
everywhere.
I might as well tell
Surely
you.
there's something you can tell me. We're on the same side now, aren't we?
He looks at you with a blank expression for a moment. You use that word so easily. Demon. Suppose it makes sense now, seeing as when we are still working for the Celestials, we never really had much of place for nuance. Though there is a difference. Down here in the lower planes, it is us devils against everyone else. We're the only thing keeping order. When we are gone, there's nothing between you and the abyss. And do you know where it will start devouring everything? It will start at the material plane. And that's not just bad for business. that's bad for everyone. This blue lamp, one way or another, serves one of those demons. One I suspect you've already met. Accursed. Devilscorn, they call themselves. The demons know them as the Dread Lord Slayer. More importantly, they have got it into their head that they will destroy hell with everyone in it, freeing every single soul and destroying all of us archdevils. Now, I'm as attached to my hide as the next Bartezu, but I have no intention of letting demons run rampant across the planescape. Are you?
No, that seems awfully bad for business.
The week the blue lamp was discovered in Maracas and caused a chain reaction that ultimately led to the Crooked Man's downfall. The same week, we discovered a corpse here in the Infernal Palace. One of our spies. Every bone broken, every inch of skin flayed, and an abyssal message engraved into its forehead. I am coming for you, it said. That was Vic. Dread Vicaris. It was in that same week that my mother-in-law, the Queen, and decided to reinstate the Order of Nine Circles. A spy network, if you will, across the planescape. Now we know where Vico hides, seeing as they've now taken on the mantle as Archmage of Maracas. Yet we are powerless to stop them. If you meet any of our operators out there, they are working for Duchess Mephistopheles, but I have a special position within the circle. So, if they ever get in your way, just let me know. What Deimos is basically telling you is that there's an order of infernal spies which has been reinstated after a long time, because a certain demon that you've already met is realizing their threat to take down all of hell. And hell, like it or hate it, it is kind of like the cork in the bottle, so to speak, that prevents the abyss from flowing freely through this planescape.
Like it or hate it, it serves a purpose.
Indeed.
I will say, at this sudden realization, a smile does draw across Omni's lips. To think that the arch, and yet there's the little rock in my shoe, that archmage. All right. Say this, little twin. I will stay in touch with you. I recognize that we are not on the best of talking terms, but then again, we are siblings. There is blood here, and I do agree with you. The uncorking of hell is bad for business for everyone.
Indeed.
I will see that it does not come to pass.
He puts a mechanical hand on your head and pats you. I do wish sometimes that we could just go back to the way things were. Don't think for a second that I don't. But it is not to be.
We're getting old, Effie.
I'm getting old. You got to take a big nap for 12,000 years. You had me do all the hard work, meanwhile you were in slumber. You know what it's like to spend most of your life with someone, and then that someone just goes away.
I did do an awful lot of work before that nap. I do want to say, I feel
like. What
do
you think I've been doing? Do you think you were alone in your fight against the demons?
You know, Effie, Deimos, we could take a nap. Wanna take a quick, easy 100-year nap? Just a power nap? You know, I'll take care of this.
Suddenly something about him shifts. The dark clouds come back into view. They materialize around him and form a mask, so that he can no longer see his emotions. Why don't you take your cursed little ass back to the material plane before I rip it up, before I split you in half, insolent child? And with that, you're thrown back to the material plane. You wake up.
Damn.
You wake up in the middle of the day back in Wago. It seems you slept the day away. You wake up in a cold sweat. Seems the rest of your party's already gone. Omni, tell me, why do you travel to Double Pass?
Well, it is one of the few locations we have not scouted yet. And I will say I'm not 100% sure as to why I would be going there, other than, we haven't been there before. I don't feel like Omni would travel by themselves. Is there did I have a conversation with one of the previous party members on the last episode that might lead me to believe that they would have gone there ahead of myself?
You know that Stacy has been deeply interested in checking out the Mall of the Crooked Man. You know that Seti might even have some hopes of reforming the Black Circus, or that's what I meant to say before. You have the idea that both of them are already there, though you're not entirely sure. Either
Okay.
way, you do have kind of an in with Blightwood, dubious as that might be, and Custian, who's a definite ally now, more than ever.
I do feel that after Seti's violent outburst last episode, I feel like he might want to lean towards rehabilitating the Black Circus. I feel like there's a certain weight on him following that. So I would definitely head there and to provide support.
With all the forest that you travel to gets naughtier and rudier the more you travel, and it is thick with Circes. You try not to openly fight them, instead just hiding in plain sight, or going or between the trees whenever you can. It takes you about a week to arrive at Catobal Pass, but you do arrive unscathed. Hang on, where is it? Beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. You arrive just after nightfall, with the first snowflakes once again starting to fall down. You walk up a narrow path in the forest. Before you can even look where it's coming from, there's an arrow in front of you in the ground. And then a familiar voice rings out to you. Seems you don't have a visitor pass, my good friend. Mind if I have you as my +1?
Oh, absolutely. I happened to miss the booth where they were selling tickets, but I'll join you, Blightwood.
Oh, it
You
always
you
is.
fool.
Just you ass. You exchange quips as you approach.
Yeah,
as you approach the pass
we
unhindered.
exchange. Yeah. We exchange terribly mean one-off comments as we.
Perfect. Carrying right along to Steady.
Oh no.
When last you left Mospel Island, you had just scouted everything out and found out some very shocking things. However, you managed to evade the order for long enough that they don't suspect anything about an ambush. And that night, you get up early in the morning, having just rested in a nearby abandoned turret. That's kind of the fortress-looking thing in the foreground there. And you forge a plan along with the Fav. Now, the Fav is a good idea of what she wants to do, but is there anything that Seti would like to say beforehand? I'm taking that as a no.
No, I'm thinking. It's a yes, but I am a bit slow of understanding. Do you know that there's like a thing in among operatives of the Scaly Sanctum that you never know when you're gonna return or not? So you kind of before a big mission. Shit, I am very terrible at this. I've died so many times and yet I've not been able to actually say it. Like, if there's a regret you
She
want to
stands
see,
up to stand over you. You can see afar this 6'6" Amazon standing up to Seti, who's kind of a diminutive snake man, and she looks at you. She looks at you earnestly with one big red eye. Well,
Well, if there is something you would want to be taken care of if you don't return,
indeed.
discuss it to tell
Mm.
me.
So it is. She relaxes a little bit. It's almost as though you said something that really roused her, and then you didn't say the thing she was expecting. Um, she she halts for a moment, and then looks up at you. She does something you didn't expect, and takes off her eye patch. Well, there's one thing. I know now that you know your wife isn't awaiting you on the other side, wherever she might be. But I have that same kind of certainty about my mother, and that is because I died also. And when I did, then she opens her left eye. Only it's not the same anymore. It is completely black. The iris and pupil are replaced with a single, grayish dot, and it seems to hypnotize you as you look at it. I met death, said he. I met my father. And I suspect the same as you, he told me that my time wasn't done yet. That I still have work to do. And then he put his hands in my eye hole, and it really hurt. And I woke up with this thing. She puts the eye patch back on. It's the eye of death. Or the orb of Viergo, some scholars call it. Here's the thing, though. It has some powers, though only if I use those powers, there's no guaranteeing of if I will survive that. Now that's a revelation, huh? It's good that I told you. Right?
Right.
You're not gonna run away screaming now, are you, Seti?
Why would I?
Yeah, besides it would take away the stealth advantage we had. Very good. You ready to hear my plan now, Snakeman?
Go ahead.
She explains to you that she plans to lure out she plans to break into the nesting grounds of the river drakes that live here in the area. Steal some kind of hatchling or maybe an egg, and run with it as fast as she can into the camp so she can lure all the other sea drakes or river drakes into the camp and cause a massive commotion. In the commotion, she plans to fight off whatever orders she can find, pick up whatever treasure they looted, free any prisoners, then take one of the old logging ships and sail all the way up to Wago.
Holy shit, you're gonna do a lot. How can I help?
Well, you're gonna help me free the prisoners, of course. You can also volunteer. You could also volunteer to steal that egg. Now, I didn't have it on my cards to become sea drake fodder for today, but I will do it if it means that we can free those prisoners.
Hmm.
If either of us dies, we still have to make sure that the prisoners get home safe.
I'm thinking because technically it would be good to do both of those jobs fast. But I'm
Okay,
also
transparency here. What is going to happen here is that one of you is going to try lowering the river drake. Depending on how successful either of you are, you might have to fight some river drakes along with any kind of clerics you find. However, after that, both of you are gonna have to work together to free the prisoners and get whatever the order is hiding in the treasury. Let me just pick something up here. Actually, for today's session, I already teased it in the talk we did before the session started, is that today's session, each of you might have some allies, and depending on who wants to, I'm just going to give you the stat block so you can use it for yourself, so that I, the DM, don't take up as much time during the initiative count. Now, that being said, I still need to download the PDF for Lefave. I'm going to hand that to you. You can have a look at her checks, and you can see that, and you can see what kind of check you would like to work with her stat block or your stat block in order to go and grab that egg. Unless, of course, you have a better idea.
Nah, sounds good. When I grab
Egg.
mother for the party egg.
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 I should have brought beer.
Yeah, man.
But egg.
I need an egg
Tear
first.
would be all over that egg, you know that.
I've
I'm
been
going to
thinking
drop
that.
it. I'm going to drop the
I'm calling in
PDF
egg.
here in the side chat.
I know a guy.
See if you can open it. See if it's readable. If not,
Alright.
I'm going to be in control of Lefave for the rest of the session. That's
I
fine
got
too.
it. It worked.
Perfect. Let me just get the music going, I guess. And while I'm getting all of that ready, how about we go for the first break of today?
Alright.
We return now to Muspel Island city. So now, having looked at Lefave's and your own stat blocks, how would you like to proceed with the egg stealing?
It does complicate a bit things because her athletics is also amazing. But I feel like
You
stealing.
could try a more stealthy approach, maybe a more acrobatic approach.
Yes, well, mostly like I feel like stealing the egg is a game of speed, so that's why Seti is going.
All right, give me a skill check.
Still Chiku. Oh yes, that's 20.
With the 20, you manage to steal the egg, and why does he enter why does he come back to the mouth of the cave and you see a whole like shoal of river drakes, these like water living wyverns, look up at you and all start barking. As soon as you hear the horrible aquatic bark, you start running for the camp. Lefave joins up with you halfway on the way, and then you start running into the camp. Soon enough, chaos starts breaking out, and the drakes do not care who they attack. They attack just about everyone except the two of you, and luckily, the prisoners.
By the way,
You met-
if I can, I will keep the egg as long as possible. If possible,
will
I want to
keep the
return to
egg.
Tyr with it.
All right. You put the egg in your backpack, and you make your way to the prison tent, in which you find 3 different people. One of them you can see is a. Hang on, let me check my notes. Beep, beep, beep.
Is a variant human.
Very inhuman.
Way more heroic than requested.
See. All right.
I was expecting the Benny Hill team.
All right. The party needs to act as fast as needs to act fast to find the treasure and the captives. The treasure takes the form of a small lockbox in Justicia's tent, which the father runs to and gets real quick. The captives are in the torture tent, still strapped to their racks. The two of you make quick work of the locks and free them. One is a young birdfolk man from Wago, the blacksmith's son. The other is a tiefling wearing furs and bones, a druid from the Autumn Circle. Finally, there's a masked catfolk wearing all black and notably lacking her limbs. It seems the Order wanted to prevent the circle from getting away or being killed and resurrected. Seti, you look down on this mutilated little catfolk who you know to be named Lickett. He says, "Hey, bozo, you came back for me. It seems nothing seems to bring her mood down, even though she doesn't have any arms or legs at the moment.
Do tell me, Lick, are you officially part of the circus or not?
What does it look like? Meow. Give me a persuasion check.
What? It looks like you're in deep shit and I'm the only way out. Persuasion plus.
I will
1.
say though, like the only reason they didn't just kill her is because she would just come back.
11.
Yeah, fuck you! I'll just stay here forever. They can't kill me. At that point, she goes unconscious.
If I just kill her, she comes back, right?
Stands to reason that she does. Yes.
I mean, for there's a dark urge in me to just like unshackle them and then beat their head in, like, you'll come back later.
Lafave has already started she's already like started killing any clerics that got in the way. She got the other 2 captives up to the lumbering ship. She comes back to the tent, looks at you standing over Lick. Well, if you're gonna make a decision, you're gonna make it quick, Sadie.
Oh well, I'll just loosen the restraints a bit.
Don't leave me. What? No. You leave her behind.
Yep.
Amazing.
Steady!
That's so rude.
That's my new blorbo!
Oh shit! Then I have to bring her back. Oh fuck! Yeah. Okay.
You turn around. You turn here at the last moment, and pick up her body. She's like truly just very small and very skinny. She doesn't weigh anything at all, especially now that she doesn't have any limbs. And you just kind of throw her into the arms of the blacksmith boy, who kind of cringes. It's like, ooh. That being said, you hear a shout from across the island, or from across the docks, as you see a familiar face scowling at you. Hang on one moment. You! You thought you'd seen the last of me, haven't you, Snake Man? Do you want to give me an intelligence check to figure out if you remember
Amazing.
this man?
I was about to say, sadly, my dear, I have no idea who you are. I'm still gonna say that, but with a 10, it's gonna be true.
With a 10, you just remember the torturer who tortured you for weeks when you were still captive of the Order of the Crooked Man. And then when you finally got the upper hand on him, he simply slit his own throat and died.
Oh, right, that guy.
I love that. Yeah, that guy!
Roach.
That's like 25 episodes ago at this point. I mean,
Yep. Exactly 25
Yeah,
episodes.
I mean, like, this was like last week in game.
In game, this was like a month ago.
Yeah.
You see this man look at you, and then at Lafave. Lafave gives a smirk, says, well, I guess the cockroaches are coming out now that the fire's burning. Apostate, heretic, I will make an offering of you both. And with that, please roll initiative for yourself and Lafave.
Okay, first for myself. Last initiative. Plus 0. No.
Should be +0, it's just dex,
Yeah.
right?
Just like,
Or you might still get lucky.
nope. That's an 8.
Alright, let me just get his stat block.
Imagine if you had like inspiration to tweak something.
But the dice are telling a story. What can I say?
Okay. It gets better. It gets better. You don't know what he got yet. I would like to add turn. I would like to open the turn order. He got a 3.
Oh, see? The dice are ready. The story is being telling.
Seti got a 17. Lefave got an 8. And since you succeeded the stealth check, the river drake will not be participating in this combat.
Aw,
And I'm removing it.
look at the thinky little face. He was so ready to join in.
You see to the side there's a dead river drake, which Questioner Wanda has just slain. As he draws a greatsword with an unholy glow. It seems there's a little eye, like attached to its handle, and it stares at both of you. Hang on, do I have a picture for that? I think I do. Anyway, it's your turn, Sadie. Why don't you tell me what you want to do while I find this file?
When he's pulling out his sword with a creepy little look, I just say, I've got some toys of myself to play with, and I activate the arms of Tikore.
Hell yeah. And remember, with when you activate the armed tickery, that counts as an unarmed attack.
As an unarmed attack. So I can do
Yeah.
one more
Like if you use the
attack.
action to charge them up, it means you can still like do flurry of blows or whatever.
But I have 2 attacks per action, so I could like activate it and then do 1 attack with them.
That's also a good plan. Yes.
So I'm gonna do that, like run towards them or him while activating the gauntlets and go for the nose.
Please give me the attack roll.
That's a 24. That's gonna hit.
I believe you add a +1 to that due to the effect of Arms of Tikore, which
So
is a
it's
25. Let me just check. That very much hits. Yes. Please roll damage.
Yeah, my int modifier is added. So first it's 2d8 slashing damage. That's 7 slashing damage, and then plus 6. So that's 13, and then it's my lightning damage, which is 3d8.
Yep. Go ahead and roll.
But 9 lightning damage.
Doing some solid damage with your first attack.
And then I'm gonna flurry.
Please go ahead.
21 and the 21.
Those both hits, yes. By the way, if you look at the side chat, you can see there's a little portrait of what he would look like right now. I never got to finish it, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm gonna save that for putting on the scene. Nah, the same attack, so 2d8 plus 16 slashing and 8 lightning. And, 20 slashing and 16 lightning.
Here, How do you finish this?
I just don't even say anything. I just very calmly go bum bum bum. Just watch them drop down in front of me, like half of the fire from all the lightning damage.
Bested again by a heathen. Lefave has not even gotten to unsheath her sword yet. Just kind of looks down at him as he falls to his knees and just kind of gently nudges him so he falls to the ground. All right, Teddy, we gotta go.
Yes. I hope we don't meet
As you
any
make-
more distractions.
She has a truly haunted look on her face. You can roll inside if you want, but I think you can guess.
I mean, this time I was calm and not like weird about it in any way.
You can roll inside.
I'm rolling it.
You might think that, but was it
Yeah,
really?
that's why. But at 8, I don't see it.
You get the idea she's worried about something else completely. You make your way to the docks finally, and suddenly, before you can even, as you are just about to untie the rope, a deathly silence comes upon you. In fact, upon the entire scene. You think there'd be still more screams and like yelps from the river drakes, but there's nothing now. And then you see her, a solitary figure standing at the edge of the docks, just looking up at you, holding a book. Hang on, let me find her. Have I not uploaded her? Oh, Siska.
You can just set it in the side chat and I can download it.
Yeah, I can. Incredible. There she is. You can see, as you are frozen in place, unable to move, she looks at you, piercing steel-like eyes, boring into your soul. She clasps her book, puts it to her side, and gives you a curt wave. And Lafave, you can see that Lafave is now too paralyzed with fear to do anything as you go to undo the ropes and you set sail back for Wago.
Okay, I
And
thought
here,
I was not able to do anything for a minute there, but no, it's the other way around.
and I'm very sorry to say, I thought this combat would take longer.
Oh shit! Right, no. Oh no! I forgot one more thing to do. When I
The egg.
killed the guy, I absorbed his
Yeah.
soul.
Did you
Oh,
not take the
no!
Oh
egg?
yes, I'm taking this one soul. This is
Oh
personal.
hell yeah, Antier! Can you please still describe it for us how you took a soul? What it looks like?
Um,
Have you ever seen
normally
a boba
I
straw?
have the gash on my face, which is like I feel like it's there at the moment, but it looks like it's healing just a little, just a scar. But at that point, not only does it open up a bit, it starts like glowing blue and purple. And you just see a beam of that light go into that body and then disappear. That's it.
Excellent, Seti. As you and Lafave make your way back to town, she still seems thoroughly haunted, and the druid has since come over and started seeing to her wounds. Seeing that she's unwounded, the druid, a tiefling man, turns to you and says, "Oh, yeah. I've seen the other clerics react to that woman the same way, though I'm not sure. I'm not sure what even her name is. She seems important. She doesn't ever speak, though. Anyway, nice to meet you. My name is. I didn't give him a name. My name is Philo.
Nice to meet you, Philo. I am Seti.
I suppose we're in your debt, City, for freeing us from those zealots over there.
No.
Oh, I thought I'd never see the end of it.
How long have you been there?
Well, it must have been 2 weeks. I was investigating the area, running errands for the circle, and suddenly they were upon me. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. And then just snatched me, brought me in the tortured me for weeks. That dead-eyed man, the one with the sword, he tortured me. But he couldn't get any secrets out of me. They were trying to find out the location of the druid circle.
Yeah, he's not that good at his job, I feel like.
Oh, it was. You cut him down right quick, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I didn't get to do it the first time, so he owed me one.
He looks at you strangely and then chuckles. Well, I guess I better see to the others. Say, what is wrong with that cat folk over there? She doesn't seem normal. She
Um,
should be in much more pain.
I think she's enjoying this. But
Enjoying this. She starts bouncing around. No,
well,
you
nice
should
to
probably tie her down lest she falls off the boat.
At this point, it's a sort of we'll see what happens arrangement.
He nods sagely and then steps to the birdfolk man, who you know to be. Hang on, I had a name for him written
Like,
down somewhere.
is this the blacksmith's son or?
This is the blacksmith's son, yes.
Yes.
And his
Thank-
name is. Gosh. Huh?
His name is also Custian somehow.
It's Mug.
Um,
It's Mug.
nice.
Right. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you make your way back to Oago. It takes you about a week to sail upstream. Is there anything else you would like to do on your voyage?
There's like because it's a small boat, so it's probably gonna be like at night at some point. But I do wanna talk to Mick when we have like a private moment. One of the days.
She's just sitting at the front of the boat, just kind of wrapped in a blanket, just kind of staring up at the stars. You can see she's since taken off her armor and she's massaging her right hand arm, which is covered in runes. Oh, I thought I'd never see her again. Praying, really. I was praying that I wouldn't.
I'm guessing this is either a very dangerous person or a very personal person to you.
Try both. That's the woman who instructed me. She's also an unkillable lady inquisitor who has killed everyone she's ever fought with. That's the lady Inquisitor Justicia. You might have heard of her. If you're really in the dungeons back then, you might have even seen her at some point. Oh, I doubt it. She really shows up in person.
If I did, I would not even remember her anymore.
That's true, I suppose. You didn't even remember Awante.
I
Fucking
mean,
cockroach.
there's this sort of technique that I've used, but it has down effects. Like I have a sort of way of just decoupling my mind and my body at some point, but yeah, it tends to lead to amnesia.
Looks at you. And you've always had this?
Well, it's something I was trained in, so not always, but like a couple of years now I can do this.
Hmm. The strange things we learn for our vacations. You didn't even get to see any of my cool abilities. Oh, all right, maybe next time.
I hope
Spent
you're
all
doing
that. I spent so much. I put so much effort into telling you about the fucking eye she takes off her eye patch, and then I didn't even get to use it. Really, you're a one-man army, City.
great.
It's almost scary.
I like. I think when you met me, when the others also met me, I was a very stoic, silent figure. Sometimes I wonder if that's well, I not really wonder. I know it's not who I am. It's
Well, then who are you?
I am. Think what I am is what you just saw with the nest. The guy who runs in, creates the diversion, who when endeavors get down is the first one to pull the punch.
In that
The
moment, you feel a little stirring in your backpack.
Oh shit, the egg.
Egg!
You hear a little croon, and we're gonna cut the scene right there. And we turn now to Stacy. Stacy, last time we left
Yes.
off with you, Aisling was just leading you down into the inner sanctum. This is the first time you've been there, and technically, even when you were an adept, you were still many years away from actually being allowed access into it. And now you're just being walked in there, and you're an outsider. How do you feel with all that?
Stacy is overwhelmed and she's in awe. And I imagine like the way is like spiraling or like is going in a corner or in a curve like back downwards. And she has her hand like on the wall and follows all the relief there and takes like all the atmosphere in. And she feels so humbled that even though it seems like she failed on so many ways for the druid circle, she's now allowed to go down there and help. And she also noticed that yeah, she accepts her place and that like being in a group or being in a society is better than being on her own, even though sometimes you get hurt. Like she remembers the sting in her heart when she thinks back to her dad, or even when Flora left the group. That
Yeah.
yeah, it hurts, but it's always worth a while, and somehow it's not really a reflection of her worth, but always the thing others are perceiving, and that it will always be worth it to seek connections, even though they might hurt.
As druids might put it, sometimes you have to prune a branch of the tree off just so it can survive. And that's very much the way you've kept yourself alive these past few years, months, and weeks. You touch the relief and feel the ancient patterns carved in there by the ancient druids until the stairway opens up into a large, like, dome-shaped cave. You can see there's columns on each side. There's still like plants being grown in here, like some healing herbs. You can see a lemon tree. Off to each side of the cave at the walls, there are little nooks, little alcoves where you can see the elders of the circle all tending to various little animals, or even not so little animals. You can see an Albertosaurus or a Gulu, as the locals would call it. This giant, like theropod creature is lying on the ground and being tended to by a very helpful halfling druid who waves over at you. Ashling purposely walks ahead of you and walks you down across the cave into what appears to be some kind of highlight. Though you can look up, you can see the last rays of sunshine of the day are falling through a hole in the ceiling of the cave, illuminating a singular little creature. It's a drakelet, or as the scholars would call it an Archaeopteryx, a little bird-like creature with a reptile mouth. Its plumage is completely black, and so are its eyes, only it seems to be sleeping now and breathing heavily. Ashling kneels down at one side of it and waits for you to sit down at the other.
With great yeah, patience, or like the the steps you take, like when you kind of walk on eggshells, like you don't want to disturb anything. With those kind of steps, Stacy gets towards the place where the Archaeopteryx is.
If you look upon it, you can see that as I said, breathing heavily. It's this truly fragile little creature. So Ashling doesn't look at it with any kind of sympathy. In fact, you might even see a little bit of disgust in her eyes. Well then, Stacy, what do you see in front of us?
Mm. I see a creature totally black. It's uncommon for this region. Normally it should have like, I guess, orange plumage or like this
Tan
is
and
the
brown,
picture,
orange.
yeah, I have in my mind, and it looks fragile, but there is some kind of hidden strength in it. It seems out of place.
She nods. Dracolids are not uncommon in this region, but this one's no Dracolid. That's a polymorph. And not just any polymorph. Look at the black eyes. She kind of gently pries apart the eyelids of the creature. You can see that they are in fact pitch black. Venta black, you might say. Dab as the pit, black as the pit itself. This is a member of the Black Circus.
Wait, black eyes, but also member of the Black Circus. It has this connection to the Finger Eater.
Give me an insight check, Stacy.
Let's go.
Well, 16, you realize now. You've heard Costian and Blightwood talk about a flautist or a ringleader, but you get the idea that they all get their power from some kind of dark umbral place, some kind of place of elemental shadow, which seems to match with what you know about the Finger Eater. And every single member of the Black Circus you've met has had black eyes. You could even see in Costian that when he was freed of the curse, the black was still like oozing out of him, but then his true eye color was revealed at some point.
Stacy gets into a thinking pose and is like, so the Black Circus kinda is part of the balance, but it got corrupted. And that's why the Crooked Man says it's out of balance.
Now, I don't know what the Crooked Man says about balance. The way I see it, they're just a bunch of, well, poachers. Only in this case, they're poaching people. No, you're not wrong. There's something deeply corrupt about them, but this forest used to be teeming with all kinds of supernatural life. There used to be fae and shadow creatures sharing the same living space. But the fae are long gone, leaving only these. And she points at the Archaeopteryx. But that's not the thing that worries me. The thing that worries me is that no one knows of the location of our circle, except for us. And she looks at you, which means only one thing.
We have a traitor inside the walls. But Stacy did not say this out loud because she grew up a little bit and she's like mumbling it out under her breath.
She looks at you grimly and nods. I need you to do something for me. I'm going to tell all the elders to evacuate the inner sanctum. We don't know what kind of creature might be hiding beneath this polymorph. I need you to stand ready to slay it. I'm going to undo this curse. Great. She does as she says and leads all the elders out of the cave. And you are left alone with this strange creature. As soon as you tell her that you're ready and you arm yourself for combat or whatever is ahead, she starts ritual casting remove curse on the creature. What happens next is mind-boggling. The creature starts twitching, starts fluttering about, starts screeching and cackling as it grows to the size of a human woman. lose its feathers. Still flapping her arms, she starts cackling, looking around herself until she falls to her knees, out of breath. And she says, oh, dear heavens, I am back. I am restored. Oh. She looks up at Ashling, who has absolutely no love in her face right now whatsoever. But you look down on the creature and you see no one else but your fellow druid Jacqueline, who was supposed to be dead.
Knew it.
Oh, hello, Stacy. I haven't seen you in a while. I remember you. I don't remember you. She points at Ashling. But thank you for helping me. I did not know what I was supposed to do, and I was not very much in a position to talk. She doesn't seem hostile for what it's worth. We should tie her up. In that moment, she casts a spell, and a grasping vine manifests around the wrists of Jacqueline. And she, still sitting down, starts coughing up a fit. You can see there's something deeply wrong with this turkey who used to be your friend. Anyway, how are you dealing with all that, Stacy?
Damn, Stacy's so confused and conflicted because the appearance of this person is so familiar to her, and she would have never guessed that this person might turn on them. But she also trusts in Ashlyn's judgment that this person has to vanish, and she's so unsure how she should do it because, of course, metallic weapons are forbidden in the druidic circle, so there's like nothing to really slay. And yeah,
You
Stacy
get the
is like,
idea that, for what it's worth right now, Aisling doesn't seem to be in a mood to be killing this person. She's mostly just confused and irritated. You can see Jacqueline lying on the ground. Of course, now she's dressed completely in black, like wearing black furs, and she has a skull mask on her head, resembling some kind of raptor or some kind of other reptile. A hood slung over it, but you can see the outline of her chin. The very characteristic mole on the right side of her mouth. Uh, she seems very much the same, only older and darker and undeniably corrupt in some way.
Stacy tries to remember what Flora told her about fey creatures and how Finger Eater works, or like the little bit of knowledge they transferred. And she turns to Ashlyn and says, "Can we try to interrogate beforehand? And do we like have like a truth concoction, so we know that we're not lied at?"
She looks at you. Ashley looks at you, and her eyes glow golden for a moment as she casts Zone of Truth on the three of you. She can try lying to us, but well, she won't succeed. She looks down at Jacqueline now, who stopped coughing, is now just lying on her side, curled up. Her arms still tied up, her legs kind of twisted in a strange way. You can't help but see the person she used to be, but you know from Flora that there will be memory losses when you make a deal with this kind of person. The finger eater himself, is a manifestation of loss in some way, including the loss of memory in his case. Which means that Jacqueline, whoever she might be, she's lost a great deal of that, and she gained a lot more. She doesn't seem to remember Ashling, but for whatever reason, she remembers yourself.
Stacy sets herself on the ground with crisscrossed legs and she kind of tries to connect with Jacqueline, and she tries to see what kind of information she can tell and which information she can't tell. So she goes for the obvious and asks for whom or for what reason did you seek more power?
I don't remember. I remember being a druid. I remember trying to do good. And then one night, I was on excursion with some of the apprentices, and well, we found some poachers. And you know, I like the animals. I could not watch as he was hunting some creature that we only just rediscovered. So I initiated an ambush. I told the other apprentices to run as they were chasing after us, while I dropped a tree and on top of them. Only the tree also landed on top of myself. Only after that, when I was dead, I woke up again. The same night. No bruises, no scars, but black ichor leaking from my eyes. And then, well, I knew I couldn't return to the circle, but I continued hunting poachers. I have no idea about the black circus. I don't know how they operate. They tried inducting me many times, but I have been able to fend them off so far. Only now they've come after me. I remember facing off against a powerful mage from their ranks, and he put a curse on me that she coughs up a lot of black ichor. Well, it does that to me. It also made it so that I could not turn back. So I came to the only place I know was totally safe for me. Ashling chimes in saying, "What seems to cover up with the rest of the stories? Only I found your body. You died 1.5 years ago. I buried you right here on these grounds." Apparently, she flew in the past couple of weeks. God, getting my accents mixed up. Why do I have to put an Irish person and a French person in the same conversation? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know.
They would never talk.
It's because you're an artiste.
Now, am I an artist or am I an artiste? That's a question. Ashton goes on to explain that the elders of the time did not manage to identify the creature as of the Black Circus until only like you arrived in the only until the day you arrived, when Ashling took one good look at it and noticed immediately. And you remember Jacqueline always being like a very big defender of wildlife, especially for like endangered species. So it covers up with the rest of the story. Only, you know, she's not lying when she says that she only hunted poachers and she never ran with the Black Circus. You have no idea who that mage might be that cursed her, or why they would curse her, but there it is. What is Stacy thinking?
Stacy tries to unravel the things that Jacqueline could not tell, because this is like the key. And so that's why she tries to circle around the black holes, more or less. So the more things which get told around those black holes, maybe she hopes to fill in with what she can recollect of Jacqueline, even though it's not too much, probably.
Enough
And
time with her during the tenure at the circle. Like
yeah,
you joined around the same time, you were at the same age.
correctly. Like so Stacy has a feeling that there might be something with the kind of wildlife which might got slaughtered, that there could be a connection what what drove Jacqueline to get more powerful, because she wanted to protect, and that this is like her weak point, which got her susceptible to deals. And she also thinks about at which occasion someone could have offered Jacqueline a deal, because normally the druidic circle is totally closed off. Like no one else could trespass. And probably mostly on all the missions, there are at least 2 of them around. So it's difficult to catch a druid on their own.
Exactly. However, you do realize something now. If she met somebody from the Black Circus and made a deal with them, it might just be that before the circle even that this took place before the curse even took effect. Meaning that she forgot that too, because those people cursed in this way tend to only forget things that happened before they were cursed. Either way, she wouldn't know. However, you could put some things together. You know that the Black Circus has been around for a long time. It's never been as active and like as aggressive as it is now, but it's been around. And you remember a certain location which you now know is very close. Not sure if you noticed me drawing a line there, but you know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
Feet.
I need to look at the map where my portrait is.
Doot, doot, doot,
Yeah, and
doot,
like, yeah, okay.
doot,
Oh my gosh, the blood wood.
doot.
20 feet to the blighted wood.
50 miles, I think it says around there.
It's like really close.
4 squares.
It's a
Ah.
lot closer than the Wargo, for example.
Stacy turns towards Ashlyn and said, "How did Jacqueline join us?"
Let me check my notes for a moment.
Turns out she didn't. Huh.
Who are you anyway? Jacqueline. Jacqueline, she, well, much the same way that you did. Her parents threw her out at some point, and she was just wandering the countryside with some of her siblings. Well, the way we do it here at the circles, the lot of them were all sent to different circles. She was stuck with us. That was only like a couple of weeks after you joined. I remember she was put on the, I believe, was, God, who was it? She was put on the Master Links. No, I don't remember anyone. I only remember Stacy. Stacy, who is this person?
Stacy just says, "My mother."
She looks curiously for a moment, seeing the height difference. Very well. I must thank you for helping me. I have no illusions. I know that you cannot simply let me go, and you cannot let me stay either. But because my location here will probably only attract whatever remains of the Black Circus. They have some manner of tracking each other down. I don't know how they do it. I will subject to your judgment one way or the other. Trust me. I trust you at least, Stacy. I know you're a good soul. I know you're full of kindness and compassion, and well, you certainly haven't killed me yet, so that's a good sign.
With the
She starts
mention
coughing
of
up Iker again.
yeah, with the mention of detection, Stacy gets wide eyes and is like gasping and we can't let that happen.
Aisling puts up her quarterstaff and like scratches her chin for a moment. Suppose we might be able to undo whatever kind of hex that wizard put on her. I'm not entirely sure how we do that, though. Another thing we could do is, well, we could throw her to the thing that's been stalking the woods outside. Loath as I am to do that, but I do have to protect my own, Stacy.
I understand, but shouldn't we then at least try to like undo the deal, even though it might end horribly?
She
Because
nods. I believe it is at this point that I should let you do the decision and let you figure it out. She's yours now, Stacy. I trust you will do the right thing. And she walks away for a moment. She taps her quarterstaff on the ground once, and more vines appear to wrap around Jacqueline's legs. She goes to get the other elders back in. It's clear now that Jacqueline, or whoever she is now, doesn't pose a threat anymore. However, with the way she is right now, she might cause problems later on, or very soon even.
most likely. um, yeah. What Stace like to find out is if there is any way of like getting out of the deal, even with the most extreme end of it all, that Jacqueline might no longer be there. But this is like then the casualty Stacy would be willing to take, because well, at least it was with trying to like free her, but not really like ending her. And Stacy wants to find like a good spot outside of the circle, but still like close enough to get help.
You so walk me through this. You want to take her out of the circle, to someplace safe and unexposed, just so you can figure out the curse. And if you can solve it, you're gonna take her back inside, or and if you can't, you're just gonna leave her out there right in there. That am I understanding that correctly?
Um, Not the part with taking Jacqueline then back to the circle and try to undo it. I think this is something Stacy would really like try more or less on her own and really outside of the circle perimeter. So like that
Right.
the circle is really safe. And yeah, she hopes that somehow she can find a way to find out what was it, what Jacqueline wanted to achieve, or what was the deal, and maybe find like the Schlupfloch in the contract.
The loophole.
Yeah, the loophole in the contract.
Very good. You take you wild shape and drag Jacqueline out of the circle. You find a fairly inobtrusive space outside near a brook and an overhanging rock cliff. As you put her down on the ground and you look her deep in the eyes and you try to figure this out. We're going to continue with that after the break. Tyr and Samara, you find
Yeah.
yourselves at the center of the Blightwood. In front of you, probably the most blighted wood of them all, besides the man who named himself after it. A great dead tree that vaguely resembles a giant humanoid. You can see there are scars and limbs and all kinds of burls, but the tree itself seems completely dead. Let me just find the thing. That is. You can see Blightwood sitting on a branch nearby, rubbing his forehead after Castian threw a rock at him. However, you are now just looking up at this tree, which has grown around an enormous marble arch. How would you like to proceed?
Is he dangling his feet?
So what if I'm dangling my hooves? It's not the strangest thing you've seen here. Clop, 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 clink, clank.
Clink, clank, clonk.
Like every time his hooves meet, come together, they do a little bit of a clop sound.
Like the one
Tyr
piece
is a
of
little
childish
mesmerized.
folly.
Tyr's a little mesmerized, you know. Well, I'm sure we have better things to do than looking at. I'm sure we have better things to do than looking at my tail, too. There's a whole riddle for you to solve. You love adventures, don't you? Shut up, Lightwood. You can see Costin is now piping up again. Oh, another rock is coming your way. Oh, goody. He drops off the branch and just disappears.
What are we doing here? He's just playing with us.
Well, he always is playing something, but it seems that he did us here so that we can deal with this big tree. Whatever it is blocking up. It is blocking up this arch. I dare say it fulfills some other purpose. And if I'm not mistaken, this tree is strangely human-shaped.
Do you guys think we should strategize before we continue so we don't just run into the next trap or whatever?
As you say that, Costin sits down crisscross applesauce and listens to you attentively.
Do I have to strategize?
I mean,
Well, I'm
Birdman,
all
are
out
you
for
even
suggestions.
engaging in this?
My idea was just that we're gonna climb up that tree and see if there's some kind of way to, untreeify it.
I feel like you're railroading this. You know, untreeifying just means burning it down in my book, so you better come up
No.
with a better idea.
Let's not burn down
Forest
like,
fires are
yeah,
bad. He nods.
that is
Incredible.
very efficient, but also highly dangerous. And I'm not against danger, I will have to say here. But let's try something more productive.
Productive is the word I was thinking of too. I mean,
Right.
this is clearly
Yes.
a matter of a curse. Clearly.
Obviously. By the way, very big fan of you throwing stones. You should do it more often.
Oh, please, by all means. By the way, Florian and Algernon, which one of you would like to get the stat block to be in control of Costian for this adventure?
I would really like to do it, but Algie, if you want to do it more, we can roll
you can
off.
do it. I've thought so much today already.
I'll
Like,
take him.
I have so much
If you look in the
knowledge.
side
in
chat,
me.
the PDF is coming up.
I'll take the
But I
bearded
will
man.
look at the PDF just to see whatever is going on with our guy.
Well, cards on the table. He's a soul-knifed rogue.
Oh,
He's got high intelligence, high dexterity, and that's about it.
Oh, it's always good to have two smart people around. I do not know what Tyr's intelligence status.
14, right? It's
I
pretty
don't
high.
really- yeah, I'm pretty clever. No, my int is 10.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that's why I want to burn down the tree. Obviously.
I didn't say I wanted to. I knew it was a bad idea, but if nobody else came up with a better idea, I had a match in my hand.
Oh, God. And I think I act out of impulse.
Look. Okay, Birdman. So you say we walk up to this tree and we start inspecting it?
Yeah.
What are you hoping to find?
Some kind of trap, a trigger, maybe an entrance to a cave.
What if it is a cave? Shouldn't we also look at the roots? Since you know the root of the problem. See my pun here, thank you.
I mean, it's a tree. If we wanted to look at anything else than the roots, we would have to climb it, no?
Yeah, but Castiel said we should climb.
Oh, right, he did say that.
And that's where
He
the
starts massaging his
come in.
temples and says, well, the way I see it, a tree is chiefly made up of 3 parts. The boughs, the roots, and the stem in the middle. Say we split up? I'm not much of a flyer anymore, but I can still climb up well enough.
So do you believe
Alright.
that splitting up in these circumstances is the wise choice? It would be
Well,
faster, but
we'll
if
be an eye shot of
someone...
each other, for what it's worth.
Sure.
Though I tend to agree.
Fine, but stay within squawking distance.
He looks at you and picks up another rock.
Amazing.
I stand ready for the reception of rock.
God.
Well, at least you know you did wrong. He starts scrabbling up the tree
Um,
to get into
you know, I'm
to
not
get into
much
the
of.
bows.
I'm pretty athletic. I could climb higher than that and get to the crown.
As you finish the sentence, he's already at the top of the tree.
God damn it. Okay, well,
And
bark
how
it
about
is.
you look at the stem and I will
Okay.
take the roots.
Right.
I like to
yes.
stay grounded.
Alright, Xiomara, Xiomara, Kostian, and Algernon, please give me a perception check.
Me twice?
Yes.
Yeah.
God damn
Algernon and
it.
Christian.
Sorry. Tyr, Xiomara, and Kostian, please give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay, hold on. First tier,
So many 16s today.
and then perception is intelligence, I think.
No, it's perception. It's sorry. Perception is wisdom.
Perception, yes.
Wisdom.
You can.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can
Oh,
just
we are
tell
so
you
smart
that-
today.
Oh, natural 20
Oh,
for
damn.
Birdman.
Can't believe he's
well,
outplaying us.
he does have a +8 to perception. It says here on the stat sheet.
Yeah, but I like
Yeah.
I rolled it and I was like, oh, now I have to find the fucking. But he yeah.
Okay. So, Kostian. Climbing up through the branches of the tree, he sees that some of them have taken the shapes of hands. Only there's too many hands. There seems to be about 7 of them. It's become very obvious at this point that whatever this tree used to be, it is not that thing anymore. And more than that, it's deeply corrupt, dead on the inside, undead, perhaps even. There's some strange malicious energy about this tree. And indeed, at some point, he almost falls down, catches himself, and in getting himself back on a branch, he sees that the scratched bark seems to bleed. Algernon with a 16, you can see much the same thing. There's 2 great roots which look like splayed legs out on either side. You can see some toes at the end of some of them. Though most of it is buried underground now. Once again, there are a few too many legs here going on. Though it's mostly kind of obscured by like the warped bark of all of it. You can see, now that you look closer, just an entire cemetery's worth of bones in between the roots. Seemingly the things, all the creatures that the Blightwood has since swallowed up. And here, finally, you find everything else that's left. You find some kind of torso, some kind of ribs. They are almost poking out, but you are pretty sure that this tree doesn't have bones. If it does, you're not keen on finding out. Further up, you find what appears to be a face. Two eye holes with branches growing out of them. A singular, like, pointed nose and a tight mouth. Look at the mouth, which has now become kind of some kind of a warped hole in the bark, and you can see the same thing Kostian saw. Black ichor oozing out of it. More importantly, though, a bit further down than that, you see a single shining pendant sticking out of the sticking out of the bark. It appears to be made of silver and, hang on, let me check my notes. Da, 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 da. Oh, is it literally the last thing I wrote? Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a similar amulet embedded where its neck should be. It resembles a pale finger. It repels any creature touching it that is undead. Luckily, you are not that, and you are able to touch it without much of a problem.
I picked that shit up.
You start
Without
tugging on
knowing
it.
what it does.
Well, I would like to just like, and is it like sticking? Is it like an overgrown necklace sort of thing?
That's right. Yeah, the bark is growing around it, though. You are confident that with enough of a tug, i.e., athletics check, you should be able to pull it out without much issue.
I give it a good tug.
You give it a tug. You don't tell anyone else that you're doing it. Is that right?
I mean,
Is that the order of business here?
now
Roll initiative,
Well-
please, all of you.
no, I stand by that. Yeah.
Dice are telling a story.
You are
Dice
killing
are telling
me.
a story. As you try to rip the pendant out, you can only see that it gets stuck halfway in between, and then the entire tree starts to shake as the branches start twisting and the bark starts turning. Castian is thrown off. So are you. You each take 6 bludgeoning damage. Let me just add a turn for each of you.
And this is why we stay grounded.
And this is why we stay grounded. And luckily, the Elder Blight has a -1 to initiative rolls. Tyr got a 17. Could you please also roll for Castian?
Yes.
It's just a straight dexterity roll, don't worry about it.
Yes. So that's a +5, I guess.
Yes.
So 17 for Castian as well.
Shared initiative between Castian and Tyr. Which means, Florian, you get to choose which one of you goes first when it comes to both of your turns.
Castian.
Well. Castian
that
is gonna
much.
be. Castian is going to be prone at the start of his turn. So are you, Tyr? You stand here. And Xiomara, where would you like to stand? Please put on the map.
Wait, I need to measure something real quick. How far away
I
is
will
this
say-
thing?
The two boxes.
Like here. Do you see this? Yeah. Yes. Perfect.
Excellent. We're gonna run through the first round of combat and then see what happens next. Xiomara, you just watch as Tyr is thrown off the tree. Castian just kind of flies down right next to him. The entire tree comes to life and starts giving like a deep rumbling sound. You might have interpreted it as to be a roar, but it's a little bit too dead, a little bit too plant to really be that. Xiomara, with an incredible 21 initiative, it's your turn.
The first good initiative I ever rolled against
I
the
think so.
tree.
You've got some good ones.
Did
Also,
I
appreciate the
hear-
battle maps today. We've got some simplified ones again, but this time we have 3 shades of blue instead of just 2.
Did I see that, or can I see that Tyr pulled out or tried to pull out the amulet?
You know what? Give me a perception check.
Of course.
A poiception.
Where are you?
I can't win at
Where
this
are
party. I
you?
can't win.
That is a 20, but a dirty 20.
I dare say you saw it. Yes, you saw everything.
I saw it.
Everything
Okay,
I
so I'm
described to Tyr.
just completely out of like instinct. I'm cursing Tyr out like really loudly and telling him that he's stupid as fuck for doing this.
But yeah, you do that, but you do it in Elvish. So Tyr doesn't understand.
And then I cast a 2nd level acid arrow at the tree, I suppose. Which is, yeah, 90.
Attack the tree.
Oh god, that's a 13. It's very big, this it is.
Let me see. Also, since the amulet wasn't removed, I need to change something about the stat log real quick.
I just want to say I'm really happy that we established I'm dumb as fuck before I did that, because otherwise this would have been a little
So
embarrassing.
funny. But it's still very funny. Why are
Very
you doing
good.
this to me?
Simar, unfortunately, your acid arrow has no effect on the bark of the creature. Not because it doesn't do any damage, but because it didn't hit. Just to be
Okay,
clear.
but
You still have a bonus
wait.
action.
Wait. When it doesn't hit, it does something when it doesn't hit too, right?
Yeah, please.
On a
go
miss,
ahead.
the arrow splatters the target with acid for half as much of the initial damage and no damage at the end of next turn. So
Okay, then
let
roll
me see how
damage.
much it would have done. Jesus Christ, are these dice literally bugged right now? Okay, so this would be 9. So I think it's 4, right?
Gets reduced down to 3 damage
Okay.
as it is quartered.
Yeah. Oh God, what else? Can I even do something? I have no bonus action that I can do. So I just stay there.
You're so pissed. You are covered in mud. There's branches all around you falling, and there's a big angry tree. Castian, you use half of your movement to get up. You still have, I believe. You still have 20 feet of movement, an action, and a bonus action.
Yes. Let me just read on this.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm gonna try to. Well, no, I'm not gonna try to. I will move away. About this far.
You only have 20 feet of movement left.
I have 20 feet of movement.
Yeah, since you used half of it to get up.
I shall move hence. Yeah, well,
there, right?
Here. Yes. And then I will use my...
Do you use a bonus action to disengage, or do you disengage in any way?
That was close enough to have to disengage.
Uh-huh.
I will disengage.
It is a tree.
It's a fucking
you
tree.
Will... do you do it with an action or with a bonus action, since he's a rogue?
Bonus action.
Very good. You still have an action left.
That leaves me with an action, which I will use for Soul Shot. I will roll for hit. That's a +8. 22.
That's a 22 will hit. Roll damage, please.
That will be a 1d6 plus 5. 9 damage. Which is psychic / piercing, my choice. I will do piercing.
Hang on. Just so you know, in roll 20, you can add the plus, the bonuses while you're doing the roll.
Yes, but I'm using the UI because I'm sitting far away from my computer. I'm just using my mouse.
Oh. Well, hang on, let me check. You want to do piercing damage, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you hit for 10? No. How
9.
much?
9
9.
damage.
9 magical piercing. Very good. Tyr, you're up.
Right. I mean, where I'm standing, there's like no obvious weak points. I guess.
Yeah. This thing cannot be flanked by any means. It's a fucking tree. You are still prone. You can use half of your movement to get up.
I will do that. And then I shall just try to hit it, man.
You start pummeling the bark of this ancient tree with your thing. A 16 will unfortunately not hit.
Okay, try again.
25 will hit. Please roll damage.
That's a 9. I believe that is bludgeoning damage? Yeah, it's bludgeoning damage.
Are you doing it one-handed or two-handed?
Two-handed.
So you deal 12 damage.
And
Okay.
hold on. I will Divine Smite, honestly. I'll deal a... So sorry. That is a 2d8.
For the purpose of Divine Smite, this creature is undead.
Sorry, what does that mean?
I believe that has an effect on your Divine Smite.
Yeah, for each spell level against undead or fiends, plus 1d8. So,
Yeah.
an additional one. Oh, yeah, right. So, that does a 14 additional damage. And I...
14 additional radiant damage, let me just check.
Yes, and I spent a second level spell slot for that.
You did do that. Let me just check once again. So 14 total, right?
Indeed.
Dealing 28 total damage. You can see that that had an effect now. Alright, let me just see here. There's reactions. The bark remembers. No. The thorns know! Hang on, let me just check. Let me just roll. It's gonna be 4. It's gonna lower its AC by -4. And then 4 times 3. It's 12. And heal itself for 12 points of healing. That's gonna be its legendary action, now going into its turn, unless you have a bonus action. Doesn't seem like
I
it.
mean... I can cast Fireball.
I dare say that is a action, not a bonus action.
No, I have Forge Fraz's Flames. Every long rest, you can cast Fireball up to twice to the highest level available to you as a bonus action.
Well, please, by all means, go ahead. Cast it. What? I have to give you a dexterity saving throw, right? And you're casting it since you are level 6 at 3rd level.
Yes.
Hey, I just want to let you know there are options. You don't have to cast Fireball.
I hear a voice in my head telling me I don't have to cast Fireball, and I refrain from casting Fireball. I remember I'm in a fucking...
There's a little voice on your shoulder. It's a little gray-skinned angel, and they're like, "Hey, don't do this. You're better than this."
Just don't.
Don't.
You see briefly you see flames in my eyes, and they extinguish at once when I hear that voice. Jamara
Maxi,
was gonna get so mad that I'm even dumb.
Maxi and Tia, why don't you both take a point of inspiration and then shut up?
You got it, boss.
Clam it.
Thank you.
On its turn. Once per day is going to cast.
Fireball.
Oh, not evil.
It is now the Elder Blight's turn, and let me just get the circle.
Oh god.
Who's gonna cast Fireball?
I'm so scared.
120 feet of me.
No! What? No! No! No!
Oh yeah, that's
I dare say that is everyone.
Oh wow, the map
Okay.
changed color. You'll see that? Wow, crazy.
I think you even hit Stacy with that one.
Anyone else getting warmed? Here in America, it's getting a little warm.
It's not going to cast Fireball, but it is going to cast the Root's Hate as all the trees and the roots around you start animating themselves and start wrapping themselves around you. I'm going to need each of you, please, to give me Constitution saving throw. DC. Let me check. DC 18.
Ooh, yeah.
No.
Hell yeah.
Let's see it for Castian.
Oh, sorry.
Go, Christian, go.
Otherwise, I can roll for him too. I have a stat block right here.
It's okay.
He has a +0 to Constitution check.
Oh.
Yes.
Same with us.
So close.
Tia, you are the only one who is not affected. Everyone else, let me see.
The flame comes back to my eyes.
I should have committed forced arson. Let me see here. Action concentration. Animate living or dead roots on the ground around you to burst forth and strangle your enemies. Within 120 feet of you, all hostile creatures must succeed a con save. If they fail, they take 3d6 bludgeoning damage and are restrained.
Okay.
Samara and Castian, you both take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Tyr, you take 6.
I take 6. Please give me.
However, you are not restrained, meaning your movement speed is the same as it always was. For Castian and Samara, you are now restrained after taking damage, and your movement speed is 0 for as long as the creature is concentrating on the spell. That's the noise Samara is making right now.
I'm truly going through it.
Alright. This creature does not have any bonus actions because sometimes I love myself. And with that, we're going to flip the scene over to Cat Opal Pass, which only means one thing.
There's cat opals
Let me
here.
see if I can find it. That is. Omni, you find yourself taken up to what appears to be the entrance to the pass. It takes the form of two mountainsides meeting each other in the middle to form a very small pass. And on top of it is a collapsed siege tower. On top of that siege tower sits a creature so absurd and weird and hilarious that it could only be of the Black Circus. It's a tall humanoid creature about 3 meters in height, or 10 feet. 2 pairs of arms, each of them have a bow and arrow. You assume this is the sort of the arrows that shot you earlier. And Blackwood does a little cut, says, Crawley. Did they give you guard duty today? You must have a very good reason to bring him an outsider, Blightwood. Yes. Now, if you or anyone else should take a shot at my good friend over here, well, I dare say it shall be your last day in the circus. Now hop along before Crawley becomes hobbly. And the creature says nothing at that and it lets you through. Omni, you've never been to a carnival or a circus, but this is probably what you imagine it to be. Even if there is a lot more violence and hedonistic laughter here, you can see lots of stands going around as the Black Circus seems to be having some kind of celebration. As the night falls upon Catable Pass, you can see that tonight is a very special night. Though for you it might be a little bit dreary. It's new moon. Something seems to be important about that kind of about such moon through the circus. Blightwood leads you through and explains you just the same thing. On a new moon, they all like to get together and have a little bit of a competition. Turns out, during a new moon, 12 members are chosen, who for one night only become mortal again. They all must compete together, and whoever comes out on top gets to live for another 11 months. The rest are taken out of the circus. He explains to you that they do this to kind of keep themselves responsible and also to keep it fresh, as it were. He takes you along to some of the stands, and you're free to explore them as you want, or to have another conversation with Blightwood, or ask around, or look around, or whatever you want to do at this place. Omni. The main event of this place isn't yet taking place.
Did you say there's 4 people who fight, or what was the number of people who fight in this Black Circus battle royale?
For every human of the year, there's a person, so there's 12 total.
I see. I'm thinking, because in my time as the leader of the armies of heaven, there were of course a need to entertain the troops. For us, it was an awful lot more of like quiet prayer, perhaps someone playing the harp. Not so
Yeah.
much this, juggling and fire breathing and sword swallowing.
Exactly. You got the vibe exactly right. You step up to a stand where a huge burly black dragonborn man wearing a viper mask is throwing hatchets at a target across the range. You can see now that somebody's actually tied to the target and trying their best to wiggle out of the way just as the axe hits. They're only somewhat successful. Bloodwood starts
Yeah,
chatting
love
up
that,
with
love
the
that.
other person at the stand, and the large black dragonborn tells you, "Hey there, bub. Wanna compete?
Ooh,
Come
what's the
on, kid.
test?
There's something nice in for you."
What's the contest?
Well, I throw an axe at you, and you don't get hit. That's about it.
How about I throw an axe at you and you don't get hit?
He and the circus around him start laughing. Oh, that sounds incredible. What are you betting, kid?
I almost wonder if they would even care about money. I wonder. I mean, like, I think in the spirit of the Black Circus,
Oh.
Oh, okay. I tell him that if I throw an X and he dodges, I'll let him throw an X at me and I won't try to dodge.
He offers you a hand and shakes it vigorously. You fucking got it, asshole. he hands you a whole belt full of axes that he previously slung around his massive corpus, and he walks over to the target and has himself tied down. Give me your best, bozo.
I love that. I love that mental image. Also, I absolutely love him. He couldn't get cast in Borderlands, but he's doing a pretty good job here. I like it.
Going to be my new meat bicycle.
Could you tell me perhaps that as a range throwing melee weapon, would this be dexterity?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, fuck. There's
Hell
no
yeah.
stakes here. You're just throwing some axes at a dude as like kind of entertainment. However, I will tell you that his AC is pretty high.
Oh no, I'm throwing with the intent of hitting him.
Yes,
Please,
cast
go ahead.
fireball, do it.
Let me double check if there's anything I could. I mean, I have a pile of abilities here.
As you do
Does
that,
one of them involve a ball of fire?
as you look through your abilities, I will tell
Fireball.
you that you notice some conversation going on, a very quiet one between Blightwood and another Circe in hushed whispers.
Oh,
Well, he
I
tells him-
pretend to not be listening in.
You hear that this Circe has been around this other Dragonborn guy. I'm entirely sure what his name is, though everyone just kind of calls him Viper. He apparently got down to pretty close to Mospalad this one time as he was hunting down clerics. Seems the Black Circus likes the order here much less than anyone else does. And apparently he slaughtered 36 of them with his bare hands. However, once he did, they all just got back up again and started attacking him again. At which point he kind of bailed. He got made fun of that for a while until this happened to like 6 other circuits of the circus. Right now, there's a lot of frustration
Interesting.
going around in the circus. Great. What are you gonna
I
do?
make a mental note of that. Seeing as I do have proficiency in martial weapons, so I assume that I'm allowed to do a weapon attack, dexterity plus my proficiency. I must assume.
Yeah.
That's +6, baby. Sending it. How about an 8, huh?
How about you have 2 inspirations?
Pretty good. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good.
Maybe the dice are telling.
Can I use multiple inspiration, or is it like just one per?
You can use as many as you want, whenever you want, and the other players can give them to you. Can give you theirs as well.
All right, I'm gonna spend 1 just to reroll that d20 because that's literally like the 2 on a d20 is pretty bad.
Was 10% chance, yes.
A 22 is a bit better. How's that doing, DM?
Describe to me how you kill this man and what axe throw.
I was, I mean, I guess I am going to kill he's probably gonna get back up. It's fine. It's fine.
You have the
It's
strong idea
fine.
that he will definitely get back up as you hear loud cheers coming from around the group.
So I throw the axe because I realize that if I just kill him, I feel like that's not the spirit of the event. This is all about showmanship or show personship. Excuse me. I throw the axe. I'm going for center mass specifically to catch him in the chest. And when the axe connects, you get like the Japanese samurai movie style, like blood just squirting out when it connects with the heart.
That was a hit. Okay, untie me. Damn. You can see there's just a puddle of black goo around him as the ichor is drained from him. Oh, tell you what, little guy, you can throw an axe. Well, if you ever want to hire out your services, well, we meet up once a month. He puts back the axe. Alright, well, guess you should get your reward then. Let me just check what the reward is.
He gives me like some freaking carnival tickets. I can go to the booth and exchange them for Black Circus plushies.
A little Blightwood plush.
Yeah.
You pull the string on the back and it's just like, go fuck yourself.
The winner gains a potion of Uterruptor Cunning.
I'm sorry, what was that? I heard Futurama cunning, and I'm like, I mean, yeah.
1 moment.
Oh my god, please let me be smart by drinking this potion. I drink the potion and suddenly I have I'm wearing glasses.
You get a potion of Uterruptor Cunning, which increases your dex score up to 22 until your next long rest.
It's the other kind of cunning. Let's go.
You found steroids.
You pocket the bottle and Blightwood beckons you over. Very well, I dare say another life, you might have made a great circuit, shining friend. Let us move on to the next stop, and I have some more errands to run. You enjoy yourself. You make your way to an apple bobbing barrel. Only the apples appear to be extremely poisonous. There's a couple of Sergei standing around. One of them gets out 1 apple, swallows a little bit too much of it, and immediately drops dead. There are loud cheers from the audience as somebody motions for you to step nearer.
This does seem a little bit beneath my station. I look at my +1 and I'm like, must I really? Apple bobbing. I was throwing an axe earlier. This is more of like a, children's play.
Well, the apples do bite back. You can see a tiny cat looking up at you. You think you're stronger than an apple, kiddo? Go on, give it a try, Bozo. Let's see just how tough you are if an apple doesn't scare you.
Well, I'm not one to let a goddamn cat tell me what to do. That's that's enough. All right. So is this a saving roll? What am I doing here?
You can either do dexterity check to what does it say here? Party can pass a skill and check a skill check and fish them out. Yeah, it's just another dexterity check.
And I'm doing the thing where I'm doing it with my mouth, huh?
That's right. So you'll be doing it at disadvantage.
It's unfortunate that they don't have sleight of mouth.
If you want to, you can make it a sleight of hand check. I think that's a reasonable thing to do.
Truth be told, it is the same number as my acrobatics, and I do feel like I would be kind of like, purposefully adjusting my body to grab an apple while trying to not dunk my entire head in the goddamn thing. So, but I like sleight of hand as kind of being the flavor for it. So let's go with that. So that is d20 plus 3.
As you, sorry. Whew. Oh my god. As you bob your head into the barrel, you overhear a conversation between Lick, the juggler standing next to you, and Blightwood. The two of them seem to be acquainted, if not very good friends. However, they do have some things to talk about. They would talk about how 3 very identical Cirkies were excitedly talking about strange happenings at Treefall Redoubt. Apparently, Lick was swarmed by a battalion of great smoke methods, all of whom had glowing blue eyes. One of the triplets suspects it has to do with a strange trinket the ringleader is keeping there. So you hear about that's trinket that the ringleader of the entire circus, somebody called the Flautist, is keeping at a place called Treefall Redoubt. You also know, you have confirmation now that, of course, the blue lamp was being kept there. However, apparently the blue circus doesn't entirely have it under control. You're also not entirely sure why the ringleader is keeping there. You dunk your head into the barrel as you listen to all that, and you grab out one of the apples. Unfortunately, you lose. It kind of slips in your mouth, and as you reflexively try to bite down on it, it poisons you. You are now poisoned, Omni.
Fair.
Bozo.
I would like to clarify that Selen Cipher does make me immune to diseases and lycanthropy. So I'm not getting like hepatitis from this this goddamn apple.
You're not, no.
Because I just know the bottom of that barrel is filled with used needles. I just know.
Just imagine
Yeah.
biting in the battle apple and getting rabies.
Actually, that was like a halfling Cirky who put his head in and just fell in completely.
Oh god. For clarification, what was the name of the location where the blue lamp was last seen, and where there's been a bit of unrest between the Black Circus and the people in that area?
Well, you know that you now have double confirmation that the blue lamp is being kept at a place called Treefall Redoubt. You also know that Rendari, lieutenant of the guards, went there this week along with a squad, with a small battalion of guards. You know that there's been clashes between, or rather, that there's a lot of order activity here at Muspel Island. You also know that Seti. You don't entirely know that Seti went there. You were kind of hoping to find him here, but that's where he went.
All right. Feeling quite a bit sicker than I did before before walking by the food booth. Man, the stuff they eat here stinks.
Yeah, turns out Cirky's being undead don't eat.
I feel like I've gathered enough info here, and definitely my friends are not here, and there's only so long I can spend with Blightwood before I want to jump off a cliff.
Bloodwood turns to you, seemingly hearing your thoughts, says, "Oh, well. Omni, you don't seem to be enjoying yourself. What's wrong, my little friend?"
Well, I was hoping for a carousel. Maybe something a little more, exciting. The axe throwing, that's fun. The apple bobbing, a little bit too blasé. A little too, for a circus. No game, no animals, no. It's I must say your factions left me a little bit wanting.
Well, I dare say that is the only time of the month that we are truly allowed to be extremely boring. This is the only thing we truly have to do. Everything else, we just kind of do what we want. However, if you want excitement, well, you, I have reserved you a seat down at the arena for tonight's events. And if you want, you can even watch me fight. I'll be competing tonight, it turns out.
When Bladewood says saving my spot at the arena, is he implying that I'm going to be fighting, or I will be watching the fight?
You'll be watching.
Okay. I do realize it took me a week to get here, and like by the time I make it to Muspel and heaven forbid Treefall Redoubt, it's gonna be a hot minute. I figure I'll watch the fight. I'll watch the fight. You know.
Right. For Maxi the player, there's one more event that takes place before the fight. However, we can just skip to that right now.
Or we could also, do a fast forward if there's any key information you would like me to glean from it.
You actually go to a running lane that is made of regular sand, like a lane that you have to run across. It can only be across with boots made of red hot iron.
Ah, a glass run.
That's right. Turns to glass beneath you. Give me athletics. Give me an athletics check using your dexterity, or rather, give me an athletics check and add your dexterity.
I think you're clever, aren't you, DM?
Well, wait. An athletics with my dexterity.
An athletics, and you can add your dexterity modifier. The 27.
How is a nat 20 coming up to 27 my lucky number?
You don't even notice
Which
the iron.
is in fact 3 cubed, by the way.
Yeah, you run across the lane with minimal problems. You barely even feel the iron. These rookies are kind of disappointed as they were hoping to see your feet get melted. You can see there's an entire cluster of Cirkies lying down to the side, screaming in agony as their feet are painfully removed from the molten boots. You run across with minimal issues, jump out, do a somersault, and land on the other end.
Shoes were not part of the standard order for the armies of heaven, so yeah, we were barefoot half the time. This is not even bad.
You weren't barefoot half the time, however, you did learn to fight without armor. You run down there, you do a somersault. It's very amazing, only you kind of betray the spirit of the whole thing by not being in terrible agony. Or not causing terrible agony. That being said, you gain a bag of devouring.
A bag of what? I open it. I open the satchel. Is there teeth in it? What is it, like a portable food disposal? Like a grinder?
Oh, allow me to show you. Blightwood takes out he takes out a walnut and he puts it in the bag, closes it, opens it, and then tries to overturn it, tries to empty it out. He starts shaking it, and nothing comes out. The bag devoured the walnut. It's like a bag of holding, only it destroys everything that gets put in.
I check the other end of the bag. It's and nothing comes out. It's gone.
Yes, it just disappeared. I dare say we got this stealing from a caravan that was meant for a wizard. Well, you're the first person to win today, so you get the big prize. Isn't that something?
Well, this is rather nice. And here I thought you were all just a bunch of crazy clowns. Turns out you're crazy
Oh.
clowns, but with some fine loot around you.
Why, I do appreciate it, Omni. Very well. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There won't
you
be
know,
any.
Blightwood. You know,
What?
Blightwood. I can't believe what I'm gonna say, but I found myself enjoying these shenanigans with you and the Black Circus. It would be a shame if you died today.
Well, that would be a shame. Well, tell you what, though. And he starts walking you down to like a cave entrance that a bunch of other circuits are gathering at. This time I actually volunteered. Maybe I was bored. Who knows? But this is not my first time competing. No, dare I say, will it be the last? With any luck, it might be the most memorable. And it is truly a blessing that you are here with us, Omni. Truly a blessing.
Try not to die. I would very much like to be the one who defeats you.
He bows deeply. Oh, that feeling is entirely mutual, my friend. Now let us. The two of you make your way down to an old mining lift that has been reinstated by the circus. You can see it's of strange make. Its architecture, its mechanism looks nothing like what you find in Wago. What Blind kind of tells you offhandedly is that there used to be like an old empire of drow that lived underneath the Black Forest, like deep elves. Only at some point they stopped coming back up, and all their mining shafts, all their trading passes, were left to kind of wither away or rot away. The path itself is actually named after one of those drow, a dame named what's her face? What did I write down?
That's right, Jessica Catobble. That's right.
Her last name is Katob, that's true. But I think it's
Katarina Katu.
it's Lazu Katob. You make your way down the lift, and eventually you are exited out into a very nicely decorated, like enormous hall. And indeed, at one end of the hall, there's a pit with some ranks to watch. And there's a special lodge, a special viewing place that's kind of covered from the top, so you can't really see inside. Where the guest of honor is supposed to be seated. And Blightwood has reserved you a space right next to the place of honor. As the showdown begins. We're going to pick up with that later. Now, we move on back down a couple miles to the Autumn Dragon Circle, but only after the next break. Everyone, little change of plans. We're not going back to the Autumn Dragon Circle just yet. We are going back to the Blighted
From one
Wood.
Blightwood to the Blighted Wood.
From one Blightwood to another.
Oh shit, this is the real Blightwood. His true form.
Right then, dropping on down back to Xiomara's turn.
Oh god. For like a very short second there, they also wanted to use a fire-based spell. But they will not fall for fire propaganda. And instead they're going to cast God, what are they going to cast? They're going to cast 3rd level magic missile because that never misses.
It literally doesn't, no. So, roll me the damage.
Wait, this is
that's
number
3rd
1.
level, right?
Yes, so I need to do 3 times. Number 2.
Okay, so it's gonna be
3.
3, 2, 3,
That's 8. And no, I think that's it, isn't it? Wait, let me read.
Nerd.
No, 3rd level is 4 projectiles, I think. No, it's 5.
No,
5
no,
projectiles.
5! Oh my god. Okay, wait. That was me,
Let me
right?
just start subtracting the damage. Minus
4.
3. Minus 2.
That's 12 points of damage.
3 minus 3 minus 2. Pretty good. You have no movement speed and you still have a bonus action.
Yeah. And I don't have anything that I can
So I
do to
dare
protect
say
me.
I have to do 5 concentration checks now.
Oh, yes.
All these
11.
defense, though.
15. 8.
Oh,
And
yes.
4. Okay. Concentration drops. However, I dare say that with the Rune's Hate.
That's still a big poker.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't take any damage. The concentration just breaks. You're no longer
thank
restrained by the
God.
roots. You have your
Okay.
movement back.
Oh god. Can I? Okay, as a bonus action, can I see if there's anything that we can do to not have to fight this giant tree anymore?
No check required. I can tell you right away that there's only one way you're leaving this grove. It's not gonna be with the tree intact.
Jesus Christ.
Right. That's your turn.
Yeah, and wait, I have my movement speed back, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get too close to the roots. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here. Yeah. And also,
Got it.
I might add, very last 2 fights have been very kinky. Once against the Chain Lord, who also tried to wrap us up. And now against a tree who restrains people.
Yeah. Now that you mention it,
It's a pattern.
Bring this up to the asexual, to one of, to the person on the A spectrum who's like, who has historically said, I don't even think about sex. The only thing I think about is optimizing my numbers. And here you are, just interpreting things into them.
all I'm saying is that there really need to be a strangely opulent chair in the corner of this like battle arena.
I was the same joke as like I'm just holding my hopes out with the chair mimic.
Yeah, I would not say I mind the entire chain and restraining thing we have going on. So, continue on.
That's right, jugadores. This one boss is made entirely of feet.
This
Wasn't
would
it
be my
said that the tree
bane.
has too many feet?
It does.
Legendary
Wait,
action.
wait,
Thorns, no.
I have to
No!
roll for each
Decrease by
tower.
1d8. 6. Okay. Minus 6. Plus 18. Undoing all the damage you just did to it. It's now Castian's turn.
Okay, so I just want to
Willis.
clarify something. If I stand close to Tyr, next to the tree, does that give me advantage because we're ganging up on?
I dare say this tree is immune to flanking. However, you might want to scroll down and see that you have an ability called Disappearing Act.
Become invisible and immediately teleport. Oh, yes. That's a bonus action.
It's an
Which I
action
will-
or bonus action, your choice.
I will use it as a bonus action to appear next to the tree within melee range, preferably like close to Tyr. Like here? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Then I will attempt a soul shank, which is a that's a plus
That's
8
gonna
though.
be an 11 to hit, which will hit.
What? It will hit?
Hang
Yes,
on, let me read
the
something to you.
legendary
For the
action.
past, yeah, legendary action, the Thorns know decrease your AC by 1d8, but heal 3 times as much HP.
Oh, it's this boss.
I also I mean otherwise I guess I also have wait, I saw it somewhere here.
But you hit either way, and you deal
Okay,
critical
cool.
damage automatically.
Sick. I also If I do Soul Shank, that's a 1d6 plus 5. And if I have advantage, that's an additional 5d6 damage. So I do 66 plus 5.
66 plus 5. Give me the roll.
21 damage crit.
21. Well, I didn't crit.
Oh,
but
sorry.
it is a sneak attack. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, 21 psychic damage, I presume.
yes.
Perfect.
That
That was your action. Bonus action. You still have 30 feet of movement, though you probably shouldn't move around too much.
No, I'm good right where I am.
Tier.
Cool. I'm gonna fucking do it again.
No, don't fireball.
No, not that one. Fuck.
Gonna be a 10 to
swing and
hit. Is
miss.
going to. No, 10's gonna hit.
A 10 is gonna. I guess it's a stationary object.
Yeah, and also it also reduced its own AC several times.
God damn it. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be 5 either way.
Okay. I fucking divine smite that shit. With a level 1 plus another d8 because it's a undead creature. So that's 15 damage for my first hit.
Before you say
additional-
anything else, by dealing 15. Tia, how do you finish this tree?
Oh.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, the flames.
Oh, the flames.
Tear
Oh,
and
the
vision.
flames.
Tear and vision. What flashes by his eyes is like tens of thousands of trees burning with a mighty flame, and Tear on top of them, just looking down on them. And what he actually does is swing his hammer as if it was an axe, right into one of the roots, and that will be it. I just split one of the roots in half, I guess.
The root falls apart, disintegrates at the touch of your hammer as the tree kind of starts twisting and turning, but now no longer out of malice but out of pain, as it starts shrinking down back into its original shape. The true polymorph finally broken. I'm just gonna go to the token layer.
Just the
Move you
The
to
Tolkien layer.
the token layer. The token layer.
That's
Move
the
you
layer
into-
where we describe combat in like one sentence, but then we spend like 3 pages just writing songs.
As you can see, a small, diminutive, but very beautiful drow man take the place of the blight. The tree is now gone, and the arch is now free of the roots. As the man slowly gets to his feet, the silver necklace he tried to pull out earlier is still about his neck. Do I? What? What happened?
I walk up to the man. I assume he's sort of losing his balance a little bit.
He is leaning very hard on his shillelagh. You see some kind of druid, horrified perhaps, though it is not the weirdest thing you've seen today. You see that his eyes have been replaced with tree branches that grow all around his head,
Was
out of his eye holes.
I stabilize him a little bit, or at least I try to give him some stability by grabbing his arm.
Castian steps up beside you. What are you doing, Shamara?
I'm just like speed walking towards Tyr, like really angry. Like the way your mom walked towards you when they like see that you did something really, really fucking stupid.
Yeah, the way
Um,
that your portrait walked up to me was so funny.
He's gonna get a sandal.
And it's just I see that like this drow man is suffering and weird shit is going on with him. But for like 1 minute, I just ignore that and I turn to Tyr like, you never touch anything again without telling us in these situations. This was stupid beyond belief.
Hearing you speak, he turns to you. The man turns to you in Elvish and says, "You are a child of. You're a child of the conquerors, aren't you? I can hear it by your accent.
I'm
Are you
so
a
how old
colonizer?
are you?
Perhaps a settler? Perhaps a scholar come from a far land? How did you find this grove?"
We wandered into a forest, and there it was. You were a tree, young man or old man, I do not know. You were a tree, and I believe we just saved you.
He appears to be around the age of your father, around like 250, 300 maybe.
Old man, then.
Well, sure. Hang on. Da-da-da-da. The blood beatness look so back now. You can see now that that he's had some time to rest. There's some black ichor that starts drooping out of his various orifices. You can see another figure
Ooh.
appear. Well, that is truly disappointing. I had some kind of guess that it might have been a man, but well, getting confirmation is another thing entirely, isn't it? He starts speaking in an ancient dialect with this man, and then Blightwood explains to you, well, it appears this is Weirden Druckus. And he came here because he was working for an archfey who made a pact with him to turn into a tree and protect this big old arch over here. That's right. The arch. It mustn't fall into their hands. And now it is free once again.
So many information.
Okay, hold on. So I see this man. He is geriatric, and clearly, is he possessed by a fey spirit, or is he sort of willingly? I mean, I'm wondering if I can help him out of this pact.
Right. Oh, what exactly? Right. No, I get it. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah. Natural 11.
Being kind of geriatric and being in a pact seem to have nothing to do with each other. You get the idea that his being kind of standoffish and kind of difficult is due to him living in the woods alone for how long, who knows how long, and probably also being stuck as a tree. However, the pact by itself now seems to be broken. Do you remember that Custian had a lot of black leakage for a couple of days after his curse was broken? Same seems to be happening with this man, only you can't tell it by his eyes, because it doesn't have any.
I want to shoot a glance to Custian and see if he's like at all phased by this.
Custian is awestruck, truly. He's like, this man, he's with the Black Circus somehow. Circus? This is no time to play, boy. This is serious business.
It's okay, old man. We got you out of that tree. It's fine. Hey, come on.
He was the tree, so
okay.
Yes,
indeed.
Technically,
you and your negative energy. Okay, you gotta sit down right now.
I am sorry. I have negative. I mean, yes, I do have a lot of negative energy right now. And let me take a few calming breaths.
I'm sorry, I tried to take that.
But as the two of you bicker,
fine.
Costin steps over to you, Tyr, and puts a hand on your arm. Blightwood takes out a pitcher and pours you some calming tea, Samara. No, please, by all means.
Do I want to take tea from someone who's in a murderous circus. I do like the circus, but do I want to drink tea from someone like that? No.
I do like
Please,
tea.
it's-
Fuck.
It's just mint. Don't worry.
Mint, you evil bastard.
Oh no! Oh, that's a
Mint.
bad vibe. That's a bad vibe.
Bad vibes all around me.
Um,
Okay, I appreciate
Vibe check
the offer.
failed.
I take the tea. Yes, I sniff it. Is it only mint, or is there something
yes,
else
it
devious
is
in
very
there?
much just mint. In fact, he let it stew a little too long.
Oh.
It's good tea, very strong, but thank you.
But if that is all, I must be on my way. Much to do, and I've missed much in this world.
No, I actually have
Mm.
one question for you,
What?
Mr. I was a tree once. You said that they cannot get this. Who is they?
Why, the enemy to all druid life, of course. The god's-forsaken Chain Lord and his followers.
Oh, that is fascinating. We fought against one of those.
One of his followers, indeed. A disgusting pack. An insult to all of celestial kind. Not their nobility, only their fierceness. Oh, and they see everything as a problem that violates their order, including this Fey Gate. As he hears Fey Gate, Blightwood's goat-like ears kind of perk up. Oh, interesting. Very well, my pact is broken. My job done. I care not for this forest any longer. I seek to smell the flowers again, and this place is full of sadness and dead things. He kicks aside his skull.
There's a small village. If you just follow this way that we took, and maybe there you can find someone or something nice again.
I mean, you can just come with us, honestly.
No, I think I know.
Fucking, hey, okay, look, I just go over
He
to
on
Tamara. It's like, hey, look, okay, I get it. We have our differences, and I did something stupid. But
No,
also,
it's not.
look at him. He's gonna look. First branch, he stumbles over. He's like,
Okay, I'm
just
gonna
take
lower
him
my
with us.
voice to like a whisper. But if we take him with us, one of us would have to steal this amulet. Because I don't trust that whatever the fuck is going on is just gone right now. But don't just touch it again. We need like some cloth that we can put it in.
Okay, fine. But are you just gonna
Xiomara,
let him walk
as
away?
you whisper that, Custian chimes in, like joins your huddle and says, I might take care of the amulet. I can be very subtle.
Bastian, you are a blessing sent from someone I will not name right now to our little group.
Why, thank you.
And then let's take the old guy with us.
Good.
Blightwood is genuinely just baffled by the past events. It seems that whatever he seemed to believe about this place has all been proven wrong. That being said, he takes you to his hovel. You can see this small hut built on top of one of the bigger branches of the dead wood. It turns really cold during the night, so he bids you all come closer as he lights a torch and passes a bunch of blankets around. You can see he doesn't get a lot of visitors, though for some reason he's always prepared to receive them. You turn in for the night. He doesn't have a lot of food to offer. Again, he doesn't need anything. Though you make do whatever you can find in terms of mushrooms and lichens and whatever.
I still have this month-old yogurt.
The yogurt has since turned into cheese.
We have cheese. We have amazing cheese.
You get to
Also,
put
I
cheese in
really-
the soup.
Amazing. I also really like how hospitable we are being treated.
You get the idea that Blightwood would have been a lot more antagonistic now, but right now he's just too confused to be mad.
Best day
Great.
to be in.
You rest for the night, and the next morning you notice something strange. Moss has started growing back on the trees. You hear the faint sound of birdsong, as it seems the curse of the Blightwood has been lifted, one way or another. Crisscross applesauce. What else is on the fucking bingo
Bishop.
card? I hate all of you. The amount of time to say one way or another. Crisscross applesauce. What's the other thing I like to say? However, either way,
By the by.
Moving
by
right
the by.
along.
Moving right along. Yeah, thank you.
Probably
Thank you,
your
thank you.
thinking
Auspicious.
thinking
Auspicious.
sounds. This
Great.
the-
So yeah, I'm just going to wrap up. Your prompt for today was to struggle with the pressures of your mind. I think you succeeded. I think that was very good. And since you have to leave earlier, I'm just going to tell you that you don't have to worry. How about you tell me what your lowest ability score is right now?
That would be out of the main ones, right?
Yes, the 6 main ones.
It's either intelligence or dexterity.
Of course,
Add 1
it's
to either of them.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
You know what? If you take intelligence, you can add 2. You now have 12 intelligence.
Oh,
Alright. Seti is back to
incredible.
the dumbest of the party crew. Nice.
Fantastic.
I just want to say afterward, I don't know if I get the chance, and I will certainly remember for next session, but I just want to say to Xiomara that I appreciate the harshness because I realize how stupid I was to grab the amulet, and I apologize for not asking. Yes, I will say that in character. That is all.
Very good. Any reaction to that, Samara?
I accept the apology, but I will not forget, and I will keep my eye on you.
Distrustful
Authorized
wizards,
bro.
everyone. Now, moving along over to the autumn circle. Here's another one on the bingo card. Every time I start scatting as I'm trying to remember what I was saying. Skip it up.
Anyways, guys,
Um,
I'm leaving.
Right.
Goodbye.
Take
good
excellent
night.
care of yourself,
Thank
Tyr.
you for the
Florian.
session.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Yes.
bye.
Where is it? Where is it? I need to put folders into my handouts, I think.
There's too many handouts at this point.
I've made so much art.
How dare you be an artist and stuff.
Thank you, making for so much art.
We return now to a little quiet spot in the forest at night, right outside the Autumn Dragon Circle. Stacy, you are now looking into the deep black eyes of your once friend, now dubious acquaintance, Jacqueline.
Yes, I do look into their eyes. Probably also into the abyss.
It's very dark in there, yes.
So yes, Stacy tried to come up with a plan how to get this thing going, but she also is not too intelligent. It's only at 13, so yeah, bear with her.
Is there any kind of check you would like to make to maybe help me guide you through it?
First of all, Stacy came to think, so why of all the people did Jacqueline only seem to remember her? And also, why does she remember where the Autumn Dragon Circle was? Because like this would have also been something which could have been like vanished from her memory, right?
It could have been, yes.
Yeah. So
That would be either insight or arcana.
and I go with insight. because this is
Yeah,
a
another one for the
wisdom-based.
bingo card. Every time I ask for an insight check.
I think he didn't Ghosty ask for it this time.
Well, well, well. 10.
Okay. This situation is too much for Stacy. First time on her own again.
You look deep into the deep blackness of her eyes, and she cannot give you a clear answer. She only knows that when she was still a druid, she was trying to be a good example. You get the slight idea that maybe she was trying to meet someone's expectations, that maybe there was a certain druid she was trying to impress, and that strong feeling of wanting to impress, wanting to show that she was worth something, was what led her back to the circle. It's all connected. You get the idea that this druid she was trying to impress might have been you.
Damn, amazing. I mean, at the time Jacqueline met Stacy, Stacy was like an apprentice for a few weeks.
Yes. She was also the only person of her age, the only person who kind of understood what it was like to be out of her family, out of friends, basically on her own amongst a bunch of strangers.
So yeah, I think Jacqueline would be like leaning against a tree, also like suspended with the veins
Yeah.
from entangling. Yeah, vines. Oh, veins is something else, right?
Well, yeah, no, her arteries aren't poking out of her body and restraining her, but that sounds like a gruesome image to be honest.
And Stacy would have like carried like a flat rock towards the tree where she can sit on, and yeah, she takes a breath and is like, okay, and she's mumbling, what would Tyr do in this situation? I think he would interrogate now. Okay. She tries to channel her inner Tyr.
To find out a motive.
Probably,
She
yeah.
was working alone. By the gods, I will burn down this forest if it means I will get answers. And get me pictures of Spider Omni.
So yeah, Stacy begins with, what do you remember of our relationship?
Yes, indeed. You were my age, I think. You're always so aloof, so strange, and I thought you were the most interesting thing around. Kind of strange when you think about it. I mean, we are all the druids dealing with the secret of nature, and the only thing I could do to entertain myself was to find somebody to talk to. Anyone who understood what it was like being a girl and being alone. I think that was you. Whether you realized it or not, I don't remember.
And what was missing for you?
Well, my brothers did miss all of them very dearly. I don't remember their faces or their names, but I remember that I used to have them, and then I didn't. I tried making the circle my own family, but then you left, and it was hard believing that anything was even worth anything. I was wondering what was I even doing any of this for, but well, when I couldn't find a reason to live, I could only find a reason not to die, and that reason was to protect nature.
This answer stings in Stacy's heart because she was so egoistic and did not realize what her leaving the circle could mean. And she gets a little tear in her eyes, and her resolve to help Jacqueline gets even stronger. And
Why don't you give me another inside check, this time with advantage?
ooh, with advantage. Let's see.
You realize now that there were a lot of things where Jacqueline Downbeck, she was still in the circle. A lot of self-doubt. She never believed in her own abilities. She never believed that she would make it. She never even believed that she was a good person or a worthwhile person to begin with. Because no one had ever taught her how. And you were in a position to give that to her. I mean, you were just a child yourself. Her instructor, God, what did I name them? Her instructor didn't really care much either. He was just trying to impart the sacred knowledge of the forest to her. And when it all came to a head, Jacqueline felt like she could only trust herself. And she didn't even know if she was enough for that. It's no wonder that the circus found her such easy prey. The circus is full of dysfunctional people, all of whom have like their own damages, their own problems that they're dragging around, slowing them down, preventing them from moving on. And then you realize it. The thing that has her cursed, the thing that has her in its death grip, the thing that made her undead and caused her to become this strange creature of vengeance and violence, is her own self-doubt. She believes this is the only thing she can be at this point.
With that realization, Daisy thinks also back at the time they were apprentices, and she tries to think of something at which Jacqueline was good at, and tries to have her in a situation like that again.
You
Where
remember
she,
that Jacqueline was like at the top of the tracking team. Like she could notice things no one else would ever notice. Like Stacey, you're a very perceptive person, but I think you still have a lot to pick up from Jacqueline at this point. For one, she intuited and remembered the way back to the Autumn Circle just from her tracking abilities, like just from a vague memory and building on top of that. She's a good scout. For one, it would be a hard time hunting poachers out in the wild as a dark spirit of vengeance if you have a hard time noticing them.
Mm, we already trapped the invisible creature, right? So there's like nothing we could
You slow
track.
it down for sure, though you haven't like destroyed it yet. Whatever it is, you don't even know what it is.
But it probably left tracks around, right?
Tracks that you have a hard time noticing, but Jacqueline might
Okay.
not.
Yeah. So Jacqueline, you know what? We try something out. There is a creature which we managed to restrain, but we have no clue at all what this creature is, where it came from. So I need your help to determine what this creature is, because it's invisible and I have a hard time reading its tracks.
Yes, indeed. You want me to track something for you?
No, not for me, with me.
Very good. Will I need my hands and feet for this, or she points at the vines around her hands and ankles.
Stacy snaps with her fingers and the vines, damn, not veins,
Oh no, she's killing
go
me.
back into the earth.
That they do. She massages her wrists and ankles and says, "Very well, then let's get started. Um, it takes you only a while to find it." Jacqueline turns back into an Archaeopteryx and lands on your shoulder and then guides the way. Until you are led back to the Autumn Circle, and you can hear some horrible noises within. It seems whatever is stalking these woods has gotten closer. You make your way just into the Autumn Circle, and there it stands before you. A massive creature, an abomination of bark and branches and sinew and teeth, and it screams at you. At which point Jacqueline turns back into a human form and says, "It's an arbor demon. I know how to deal with this, if you follow my lead." Stacy, I'm going to give you a little stat block. And you're going to roll initiative for yourself and then also for Jacqueline. How does
Let's
that sound?
go.
Hang on. And since you have not decided yet if she's going to be a human or an undead, I'm just going to give you the undead stat block. Because that's how I had planned it. But this works too, I think. Where is she?
We stay with the undead option.
For now.
So this was my initiative roll, and then I
Hang on,
prepare
1 moment.
the other one.
God fucking damn it, sorry.
It's
I keep
fine.
wanting
Let
to
it out.
I keep wanting to download the PDF, but then it just makes me download the JSON.
Jason.
The ruler.
You could be my it girl.
Yes,
Damn, it was
indeed.
always an IT girl.
Yes. I thought it
Well,
was
I'm just
fitting
gonna
because of Jason, you know.
Yeah, that's why he calls for his IT girl. Why
Yeah.
does this Jason keep annoying me?
drop Jacqueline in chat. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll initiative for her. It's gonna be a 20. Lucky. And let me just see. It's gonna be a 20 for Jacqueline, 11 for Stacy, and the Arbo Demon gets a simple enough 16. Very well, and we're gonna pick up with that combat next session because I think we've just about come up on time. Algernon, what was your no, Samara, what was your motivation this episode?
Realizing something about yourself you didn't know before.
I don't know if anything
no.
of that kind occurred.
No, I think everything that I did was already known to me.
Yep. But you know, that's good too. I think. That's very you know who you are. Maybe next time you'll get a card that's a little bit more how do you say? Giving. Yeah. Seti, what was your motivation?
I struggled with something I've denied thus far.
Yep. I think you pretty much did that. You dealt with the fact that there's basically two Setis running around sharing one body. One of them is a cold-hearted killer, the other one is just a cool, chill dude.
And two of them are going to be fathers.
Toxic.
Cool
gifted
stuff.
toxic.
And Stacy, I think your goal was
could-
to go. Yeah,
Yeah, is reconnecting with an old friend.
I think you did. Very much. If nothing else. If you did nothing else this session, you grew very close back with Jacqueline. So I think that's nice. Finally coming down to Omni.
Oh no! Oh, I wrote it down somewhere, but I knew my card was temperance. Teacher, I swear I did the homework, but my dog ate it.
I think your goal was to find peace within yourself. What do you think?
I don't know if I can find peace while in a circus full of like crazy clowns.
But you enjoyed yourself, right?
I mean,
and you relaxed at least a
Blister
little
the clown
bit.
is bleeding in that pit of spikes. You know, in the movies, you think when someone falls into a pit of spikes, they're like dead, but no, he's just bleeding out in there. I don't know if I have inner
Oh,
peace. I'm not
God.
gonna lie.
At this point, I'm gonna actually have to add a major character called Blister the Cloud. Damn.
I mean, not for long.
Not for long, that's true. Stacy.
Yes.
Stacy, why don't you tell me 3 skill checks that you aren't proficient in?
Okay, let's see. Surprisingly, nature.
Really?
Yes, because it's
It's
an
Weird.
intelligence.
yeah, it's intelligence.
It's because Stacy's more of a nurture kind of druid.
Also,
Yeah.
druids are built weird in that regard. That like it's a wisdom based, but nature is not wisdom.
Stealth
Okay.
and um I want to go with strength because Stacy did carry a rock to sit on, so I want to be proficient in
Athletics.
no, yeah, athletics, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you are now proficient all.
Yes, no.
You're now proficient in those 3 checks: nature, athletics, and stealth.
yay.
Very good. Which means that it's time for me to make some announcements. So, it's been a busy couple of months. I think we've done pretty well so far, keeping it at 2 sessions a month. I think we've had a lot of fun the past 4 sessions. It's been a lot of work, but it's also been very rewarding. I still enjoy very much, preparing all of this, getting to play with all of you, having fun, even if I get made fun of all the time for my mannerisms.
No, no,
Um,
not you. That's me.
that being said, I would like to catch up on all my backlog to give you the best session I possibly can next upcoming April. So that was going to be a single session. After that, we're going to go back to 2 sessions a month for a while. And yeah, that's basically it.